appointment. Now the vice president often tell me, since he got a seat as vice president, how many persons have I recommended in this government to serve in the government as presidential appointee? 0. Every appointment in Nimba County was done by him. He and I would discuss something as a brother. To implement it, you will bypass me and do different things. I better keep it. I don't talk on it.
Now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
The good person in our whole United Party, that President Bwaka. You want to say that again? The only person that appreciate good among all the United Party for that President Bwaka. The rest are ungrateful. The right, they use you and dumb you. But President Bwaka, if all of them were thinking the President Bwaka and behaving the President Bwaka, United Party will have another chance in 2029. Just for now, they do not regard people that help them. I'm not.
3 of our soldiers were executed on this party ground. 2 at the back and 1 right at the headquarters. The man who shot and killed our people today is a darling boy in the Liberian National Police. They brought him back to shoot more guns. Get ready to shoot. Because we challenge the status quo appropriately.
Inform them in the violence or still any student because of their action. It will be the day the entire Bwaka administration will cut down. We will massively violate the students in this country and we'll shut down the Bwaka administration. They care that happy. We have the capability to do so. And if they think this renovation project is a joke, let them try it. The fall of the Bwaka administration begin with this. If they think they will tumble on any student in this country or at the university like Liberia and water with impunity, while our children saving opponents and logic in the Western world, while we are subjected to agile poverty and bad learning conditions here, and the thing will say.
In the first 100 days, no car will get stuck on a major road in this country. And I mean it.
You say you are loud?
It's going down. First floor. There you have it.
That led to decades of war still run deep. But so too does the longing for reconciliation. A reconciliation defined not by political bargaining or by an artificial balance of power by tribe, region, religion, or ethnicity, but by the equality of opportunity and a better future for all Liberians.
Bwaka can lie, the government, all the ministers in the government, they can lie. Okay. They put all hustle, they put hustle, they lie. Everything they say, they never say the truth.
Today, the supporters of His Excellency Joseph Bwaka presents him as a poor man from Lofa and asserts that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. First President Bwaka is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money from the government budget than any other Vice President has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs.
There's this, what I call sort of vicious lie about the fact that Mr. Pewee is gay or brings gay lifestyle to Liberia. It's complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right? So it's complete nonsense. I'm married, 8 Teresa, 2 children, 5 grandchildren. I believe in traditional family values, so it's complete bullshit, complete nonsense.
Jamaku! And you young man, vice president, young man that are vice president, the major stole 500,000. I mean, Jamaica, the major went to, I forget that Jamaica, the majors went to Ghana, the fit, and they may bring it all company in the country. I mean, Kun Ninja can reach yourself. Kun man, you know, Kun, but I want to sophisticated, quiet, hardcore rule in Labro. But Labro,
when 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There wounded out first. All men on board.
Everywhere there is no school, I will put school. And everywhere there is school and school in bad condition, I will renovate it. I told them, towns and villages, everywhere you will have lights in a town for children to play and people to see. I told them, every town will have safe drinking water.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
The government that capital Rosemont, B road, all kinds of places. I think the reason Joseph Baga will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
Your league Costa, God know how to pay people. It's just simple. Costa that accused everybody but himself. Everybody, Joe, we join, we kill Joe, he killed Joseph Boaga. Boaga still living. Joe, no, you leave better. He made me senator. He almost made Joseph Boaga president until he screwed up. We gave God the glory. Yeah. Well, Boaga, when he screwed, he said, oh, we don't want to make sure we fought for him to be reconciled with the president. And then the people who fought for him. Look, Yoli Costa, you come. And Costa was in a podcast, he said, they don't been calling me. Okay. The time you were calling me for me to kind of Boaga, did I put it on radio? That immaturity to do what you're talking about.
And I guarantee you, when we finish, there will not be a winner or the loser. Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia, and the victory belongs to the people, to the peace, and to our democracy. As we begin to build upon the foundation of this new Liberia, I, George Seleke Kromah, the new president, will first give thanks and praises to the Almighty God for the blessing He has bestowed upon our country. And I say, my people, thank you,
We elected on 85 irresponsible men what happened to our country. We elected on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jerome Gayman, your host, your boy from Grand Bassa County, Lower Buchanan. Welcome to the show. Today is Friday, and we want to say to our Christian brothers, Good Friday to you wherever you are observing. Today is Good Friday, so we're going to be good. We are going to be discussing everything about the Republic of Liberia and current events around the world. Today is Friday. In the Christian faith, we say Good Friday. So those of you who have gone to your different churches, places of worship, we say Happy Good Friday to you. Do us a favor, share this show. Let us know where you are tuning in from so we can give and send out some shout out to your neighborhood, the place you are calling in from Nimba, from Grand Bassa, wherever. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Share the show. Let everybody else know what is going on. In fact, today we have a special guest, Honorable Safoko is going to be here to talk to us. Let us discuss Liberia. We're going to be talking about the land disputes, the national debate on power, electricity in the country, the protection and accountability of the Republic of Liberia. He is in the house. It is his responsibility, one of his responsibilities, national security, to take care of our borders, to protect our borders. What is he doing? We want to talk about a death threat on the life of the representative. Claims a serious threat reportedly linked to top security authorities in the country. Concerns over the safety of himself and his family raise him a line about protection for being an outspoken public official in the Republic of Liberia. Can you imagine that doing your civic duty as a Liberian citizen, much less as a member of Congress, that your life is going to be threatened because you are advocating for the people of Liberia? And we're going to be looking at scrutiny of the Liberian police, allegation of harassment, intimidation, and abuse, questions about possible misuse of state power, call for independent investigation and legislative actions on the leadership of the police. A few weeks ago, we read an editorial, and it says, a nation that cannot settle local land dispute cannot protect its own borders. We read that. So one of our talking points would be the land dispute or the land crisis in Liberia. Ongoing conflict affecting Liberian citizens. District 9 in particular, there are people in District 9 whose land, just like many other districts, there may be time that you possess or deed, you think you own the land, only to learn that you have been double dealt with. Advocating for displaced and affected community members. What is he doing? What is Honorable Safoko doing to alleviate the pains and sufferings of people within his district? We want to put some spotlight on the land governance and justice in Liberia. We are also hearing about reports of tear gas used during confrontations by the police. Rising tension between lawmakers and security forces. concerns over human rights and crowd control. This is the closing argument. We are going to be discussing these issues. So, let me welcome Ayo. I love that name. Someday she's going to come on here and teach me how to pronounce that name. Yvonne, I love that name. Let me look at Political Pain. Oh, Lord. My first time seeing that name, Political Pain. Political Pain is most likely a government sympathizer. This Safoko died for the people, as he said he would, or he ran from death. This is a gentleman or a woman who is working for the regime. Any Liberian that will gloat about the possible death of a Liberian citizen at the hands of the police is a disgrace. Fumba Sese, thank you. Tell us where you are tuning in from so we can send shout out to your folks. Daughter Daniel, thank you very much for tuning in. I don't know where you are tuning in from, so hey. Cooper Gatte, I'm watching from Philadelphia, USA, all of our brothers and sisters in the city of brother-in-law. Thank you very much for tuning in. Philly is in the house. Mozart Dennis, I love that name, Mozart. When my kids were in classical music, they were playing violin and the cello. The team leader used to insist no matter what they do, they have to learn one or two of Mozart's songs. Mozart, thank you very much for tuning in. Oh, Sophie Blamo, I'm watching. Sophie, where you watching us from? Godwin Campbell Toll, Senior, watching from Denver, Colorado. Thank you very much for tuning in. Someday I'm going to come to Denver and sharpen my skills, my skiing skills. I'm in South Florida where it is hot, it is beautiful. So we don't do much of a skiing here. We do no skiing at all. Any other skiing you're going to find here would be water skiing. But I'd love to come to Denver someday and learn how to do some skiing, downhill skiing. Someone by the name of Augustine Giffler is following us from Delaware, the first state. Peter Lawulu Johnson, I'm watching from Harper, Fishtown, Maryland County. Whoa, beautiful place. If you have not visited Maryland County, Harper in particular, make it your duty to visit one of the most beautiful places you will ever set your sight on. Harper City. And don't forget to go to Hoffman Station when you are in Harper. Beautiful, beautiful place. Jerry Bob, good to hear from you, but I don't know where you're tuning in from. J.D. Pascal, LRB, I'm watching you from the 11th Street. Singer, thank you very much. Singer is in the house. I'm watching live from Buck County, Pennsylvania. Wookie Davis, thank you very much for tuning in. Let us know. We want to send shout out to all of our friends, brothers and sisters across the length and breadth of this nation, of the Republic of Liberia, and the world as a whole. We want to say hi to everybody for tuning in. Keep sharing this show so we can hear from you. We have a segment of our show that says, what's on your mind? It is your chance to tell us what's happening in your neck of the woods. There are a lot that going on in Liberia that may not make the headlines. But you can fill us in and let us talk about what's on your mind as we go through the headlines. Let me remind you, our special guest today is Honorable Safoko, representative of District Number 9, Montserrado County. I want to believe they call him a firebrand. Doesn't hold punches. I listened to one of his talking points. He says, Jeremiah Coon. The guy just went to Ghana. He brought 500,000. He's a sophisticated rogue, quiet rogue in this country. He just here to make himself rich. That is my Safoko voice. So Side is going to be here to discuss issues in his community and Liberia as a whole, and the alleged threat on his life. If it is true that a sitting House of Representatives, a congressional delegation, congressman in Liberia can be threatened with death, what's about a common man like me or a common woman like you? If the congressman can be threatened for speaking his mind and doing his legislative work, then you and I stand no chance. Zero. We are headed in the wrong way, maybe. David just want to be me, buddy. Following from the Twin City of Minnesota. The Twin Cities representative in the House. We have Honorable Mozart. I think he's also tuning in from the Twin Cities. Jerry Bob, I'm watching from my Germany big brother. He's watching from Germany. Thank you very much. Hopefully I'm going to come in and learn to speak few words in German. Let me come out and give you some German accent while I'm drinking my beer. You know, the Germans love their beer. The Bohemians. Adam Sharif, I'm watching from Finland, way out there. Thank you very much for watching. I'm waiting to hear from my leader, Honorable Frank Safoko, that's DJ Pascal, Liberia. You are going to hear from the firebrand. You know he doesn't hold back. He's going to say it as it is, like it or not. That's who he is. Asata O Dozen, I'm watching from Maryland, USA. Asata, thank you very much for tuning in. Victor Morgan, following religiously from Morrisville, Pennsylvania, USA. Happy Easter Friday to you all, to our closing argument family. We want to say thank you also on Good Friday. We're going to be good to you guys today. Daniel H. Nimlin, I'm watching from Liberia, the second capital city, Buchanan City. Daniel Nimlin, yes. You know, that's my hometown. So when I see somebody from my hometown tuning in, hopefully everything is cool in Buchanan. Daniel, let me know what's on your mind, what's going on in Buchanan as we speak. Bring us up to speed. Let the folks here know, those who are not from Buchanan, let them know that we are civilized people. I'm a we, that's what the Bassa people say. So we are not fighters, you know, the Bassa men love to bluff. We are lovers. Ja Eddie, I am blessed to join from Season, We District, Grand Bassa County. Okay. We District, Grand Bassa. If you are not familiar with We District is where Lock is, compound number 3 in that area. It's called the We District. And they have become very prominent lately. Very active young men and women, politically wise, very, very intellectually astute. That's We District. Anna Taylor, happy Good Friday, Mr. Gayman. I'm watching from Michigan. Oh, Lord, the Michigan Wolverines are in the house. Thank you very much, Mr. Taylor, for tuning in. David William, TX3FD, say I'm watching from Colorado. Okay, another Coloradans in the house. Thank you very much for tuning in. Keep sending the messages, letting us know. But let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods so we can let our folks know what's happening in Buchanan, what's happening in We District, what's happening in Peabody, what's happening in Maryland County, what's happening in Morrisville. Let us know what's happening, what's on your mind. So we can also update our friends, our family as to what's happening. Bring us up to speed so we can bring everybody else up to speed. Somebody from Finland, wow. Philip Caddy, watching from London. Excellent. Hopefully my British accent. I need to pull a little, you know, when they're talking, they don't open their mouth. It looks like they look at to keep their mouth closed, only their lips are moving. So the accent is funny. But then when I was in the UK, when I'm speaking, they look at me and say, where he's from? I guess I got a Bassa accent. So I can't accuse them for having an accent. So how does their accenting work? Who has an accent? Is it the host? No, it couldn't be the host, because when you come in my house, or you come in my town, or in my country, or in my city, and you speak something different, and you got an accent. So I guess when I was in the UK, I had an accent. I had problem understanding the British. I guess they had even more problem understanding me. So I guess you are the guest. You have an accent. So when you come to the US from Liberia, you can't say he has an American accent. No, you have a Liberian accent. You are the guest. So you have an accent. Prophetic James Conant. Prophetic James Conant. Thank you very much for tuning in, but I don't know where you're tuning in from. So we're blessed to have you on here. Flex Electronics 4769, the voice behind the headlines. Mr. Gayman, thank you very much, Flex. Some of these days I'm going to meet you, and I'm going to find out who is behind that moniker. Is it a man or a woman? So we're going to find out some of you guys who are, you know, you got pseudo names. You are great writers, but you prefer to remain anonymous, to be a ghost writer. So you write very well. In literature, they call it pen name. You have a pen name. You write on, you know, somebody else's name, but it's okay. Following from Israel Community, Liberia. Okay. That's Hamilton Mengwa from the Israel community in Liberia. Marie Flynn, I love that name. Mr. Gayman, I'm following from Baltimore, Maryland. Oh, okay. Flynn, thank you very much for tuning in. We have a special guest today. Mr. Safoko is going to be here. In the meantime, Liberia has never lacked news. Okay. From the triangle. I didn't know Virginia had a triangle. Okay. I thought the triangle was in the North Carolina area, but we do have one. Thank you very much, Yvonne, for letting us know. You see, you learn something every day, that we have a triangle in the Virginia area as well. That's cool. That's something, you know, the more you live, the longer you live, the more you talk. You talk to folks, and then you learn. Ambassador Roger M. Garguah, viewing from Kitwe, Zambia. Zambia. Okay. I love Zambia. Everybody that I know from Zambia are nice folks. Beautiful folks. I love their accent too. In fact, the bishop of the 14th Episcopal District of the AME Church in Monrovia and the head of AME University is the bishop of the 14th Episcopal District from Zambia. Elijah G. Brent, watching from Belayala. Oh, Bapolu County. Hey, Elijah, I love to go visit everywhere, but I ain't going to Belayala. I tell you now, I ain't going to Belayala. No. I'm not going to Belayala. If you are old enough, well, if they call that name to you, if you heard that name, you better run. You don't want to go to Belayala, but I guess Belayala now has to be transformed. So Elijah, if you can write a little more, let us know how is Belayala. Because Belayala have had a bad rap. Let us know how's life like in Belayala. Because when you talk about Belayala, everybody thinks you're talking about a horrible, horrible prison complex that was in that place. Many people that were sent to Belayala never made it back. It was the torture chamber of the Liberian prison system. But now that Elijah Brent is in Belayala, there has to be more than just the prison. It might have been transformed. Let us know, Elijah, how's life in Belayala? DJ Pascal, Liberia said, thanks, Mr. Gayman, ever so much for this wonderful platform, the closing argument where we can come and air our views. May God continue to bless you. Thank you very much, DJ. We are a praying people. We want the best for our country, for our children, for our grandchildren. We have to bequeath a country better than what we have on our children or to our children. They cannot continue to visit Liberia where there is no constant running water, there's no reliable electricity. We just can't. It's unacceptable. Say, Gongonu, say, I am back here and I will run your stomach intellectually. Okay, say welcome. The last time I checked, I think my stomach is doing good, but since you're here, I got to go and double check. say welcome to the show. I don't know where you're tuning in from, but you are so welcome. Marcus Bala, good afternoon, sir. We want to know where you're tuning in from. Don't be selfish. Let us know where you're tuning in from so we can also give shout out to the folks in your neighborhood. But tell us what's on your mind. For me, it has always been and it'll always be Liberia on my mind. So as we wait for the Honorable Sir Foko, we'd love to give you this time to let us know where you are tuning in from, what's trending in your neck of the woods, or what story that you would like for us to opine on. We got several things here that we need to talk about. Let's go to the headline in the newspapers. There's something going on here called the front pages of the newspaper in Liberia talk about the sanction. Specifically sanctioned fuel shipment destined for Liberia racist red flag. Marcus Bala say, I'm watching you from Nuclear Town, the borough of Nuclear Town. The intellectual heavyweight city of Liberia. Smart folks come from our borough, the borough of Nuclear Town. They are no joke. There is no one segment of Liberia that can take on the borough of Nuclear Town. Intellectually, you have to give it to them. I knew one guy, the late Edward Doe. Edward Doe says, we eat book in Nuclear Town like we eating kaya. And he meant it. We eat book in Nuclear Town like regular people eat kaya. If we are having technical difficulties, please hang with us. If you can see me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, but you can't see me, let me know. In the comment section, let us know what you are saying. Are you seeing me? Are you hearing me? Are you doing both? Let us know if you are hearing me. Audio. Okay, obviously our video is having issues. But keep watching and keep listening. I have to give the kudos. I'm talking about Nuclear Town. And say, I'm glad you said. Michael said he's watching from Nuclear Town. Do they watch over there? A lot. Yes, they do. Yvonne says she can't see me, but she can hear me. We are working on our video. Aha, you see? You guys, we don't appreciate something until we miss it. Now you see, you don't see me now, you say we can just hear you. So you're letting us know that yes, we are family. We are all one, and we look out for each other. So we are working on our video. Hopefully, the folks in Liberia are not messing with us. Hopefully, the folks in Liberia are not messing with me. I'm not saying anything bad about the government. I'm just saying it as it is. Sanction fuel shipment destined to Liberia raises red flag. Aha. What's going on? How come they are red flagging ship going to Liberia? So a vessel carrying Russian origin diesel linked to a sanctioned trading network is expected to enter Liberia. Within days, triggering concerns over potential violation of international sanction regime and exposing the country to a diplomatic and economic risk. This is breaking news. An investigation by the Liberian investigators has uncovered that a shipment of petroleum product arranged by Farad Navigation FZ Seco, identified in multiple sources as a sanctioned entity tied to financing Russia's war in Ukraine, is currently being transshipped off the coast of Dakar, Senegal, for onward delivery to West African markets, including Liberia and Sierra Leone. The entity, sometimes referred to as FZE, is a UAE registered trading company that has recently been implicated in sanction enforcement actions. In early 2026, it was added to the major Western sanction list for UK, US, EU, Canada, etc., for allegedly aiding Russia's energy export. Official designation linked Farad to energy trading Taha Garavi and the Two Rivers Kora Energy Network, and prohibit any assistance with its ships or aircraft. Little concrete cooperation information is publicly available. The firm for legal name registration details and ownership remain undisclosed. Its own website, Farad-NAV-LTD exists, but does not provide any public filings. Shipping intelligence and agency document review indicate that the tanker MTC Legend is scheduled to conduct a ship-to-ship STS transfer on April 2nd, receiving cargo from the vessel. The development raises compliance questions, particularly around the distinction between sanctions on Russian petroleum products and restriction targeting entities involving in financing and facilitating the trade. Let me welcome Chief Tomalin George. Welcome, sir.
Big Boss, good to be with you, especially on Good Friday. For those of us who are Christians, this day is set aside as the day that our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was crucified, and after he was betrayed, last night he was betrayed, and by Judas Iscariot, and they denied him thrice today, and he was betrayed, and he was crucified today. But with faith, we know that he will rise again on Sunday, where he shall come and renew our faith and our covenant that indeed Jesus Christ is Lord and he liveth. And we will all say, Hosanna, Hosanna unto the King in the highest. Our Lord and Savior is risen today. And we're going to praise him and praise God for his resurrection. We say on that great resurrection morning, where all the dead in Christ shall rise again and the glory of his resurrection share. We believe that, and we hold it with conviction that we serve a living, mighty God. So to all my brothers and sisters in the Christendom, happy Good Friday, happy Good Friday, and let us renew our faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, that yes, indeed, we have a living God who on the third day he was risen, and we shall all on Sunday morning join hands in our faith and sing that great Christian national anthem, the great Hallelujah Square, the Hallelujah, that song of the Hallelujah. So we say thank God that we are alive to see this day and look forward to Sunday.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. You see, I want to, the Bassa people, you gotta be afraid of the Bassa people. Intellectually, there is nobody. Versatility, there's nobody. That's why they consider the Bassa people their land, the land of hospitality. We welcome all faith. I was in the UK, and I was at an event where Musa Ability was speaking. The chair and political leader of the CMC. He said he has traveled the length and breadth of the Republic of Liberia, one place and one group of people that he considers the least prejudiced. He says, Grand Bassa County has no match. He says, I, as a Mandingo man, I can go to Grand Bassa County and if they like me, they will elect me. If I do well by the people, they will elect me. He says, go in the Bassa house and see those who represent Grand Bassa County. You will see a Finley, you will see a Kanga, you will see a Flomo. And in the 70s, we had a Fantine person representing us. So what he was saying is, if you want to actually live the true sense of democracy, the people in this nation are the least prejudiced, are the Bassa people. They are versatile, they are well-traveled, exposed, and well-rounded. And I didn't want to say that because I was hearing it from someone who is in the House of Representatives. For the Bassa man to go to Lofa County and represent them, it would be a miracle. For the Bassa man to represent the Mandingo people in Guinea, it's a miracle. It will never happen. Can a Bassa man go to Ghana and be represented in the House? It will never happen. But only in Bassa, your character counts. So yes, thank you very much, Honorable. I know every one of us have that preaching tendency in the back of our head. We can preach, we can speak. We are lawyers, we are diplomats, so we are versatile. Thank you very much. But yes, our chief we have today, one of our firebrand, one of the up-and-coming politicians, very outspoken, smart. Honorable Safoko should be in the house.
Yes, I think he's around. I see that he's around. So if the Honorable Frank Safoko, if you are listening to us now, you can come on. We're ready to bring you on. We are all set for you, and Liberia is waiting to hear from you.
Excellent, excellent, ladies and gentlemen.
At this point in time, let me just throw a little light on some accusations out there. There's this trending Seleke Kromah will kill me from Representative Fofana. At no point in time have the Liberia National Police, through the Inspector General of Police, ever threatened anyone to kill them. I would encourage, like I did earlier, Representative Fofana, to please use the rule of law. Stop yelling on social media. They cannot solve the problem. They're not called a competent jurisdiction. And file a complaint, a formal complaint. Also encouraging that he should attach the pieces of evidence that he claims he had with indicating and threatening his life and that of his family. We don't take lives here. We protect lives. That's what we do, and I remain committed to it. And, this is where we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, when our guest is comfortably seated and mic'd, he will come on the show, and we will interact with the Honorable Frank Safoko Jr., Representative District 9, Montserrado County. Montserrado County. Yes, I am from Grand Bassa, Buchanan in particular, so I know the different county. I'm from the second county. I'm from the second capital, so I know about these things. But let us welcome the Honorable Frank Safoko Jr. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you, boss man. It's a pleasure, man. How are you? Sorry for the delay.
It's all right. Let me turn you over to the Chief Tomalin, our guest.
Oh, thank you again. It was a pleasure to have the Honorable Frank Safoko, one of Liberia's rising political firebrand, a progressive, a young man who represents the people of District Number 9, Montserrado County, and he's someone who has demonstrated that he's fearless and he speaks his mind, and so.
Well, it looks like the chief himself is having problems. Man, you in America, how can you have problems? Honorable Safoko. You not bring your trouble here. The NSA follow you too.
Don't NSA. What NSA?
Go ahead, Chief. You were talking.
But anyway, it's a pleasure to have this honorable here, and we have just for full disclaimer, we have tagged the link to almost the entire hierarchy of the CDC, from the political leader to the other leaders of the country, to watch this interview. So it's a pleasure to have you, Honorable Foko.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. I mean, I'm glad to be here. I think for the second time.
Yeah.
I think some part of last year or year before last, I was on this platform. Yeah. I said thank you. I've been following this evening, but I had the District Development Council leadership, and we had a meeting today, a council meeting, and the people are BB people, so we have to, give them the time to listen to all of the different issues around the district. But I'm glad to be here, and I say hats up to all of your listening audience, everyone who following now via Facebook or whatever means they are following. I'm happy that you have given me your time, your ears to listen to some of the unfoldings in our country, Liberia. And I say thank you to you for all of the sacrifices you've made, being here on this platform all of the time, providing information to Liberians all around the world. This is extraordinary sacrifice. I know why it comes with. It comes with dedication. It comes with commitment. It comes with a lot. But, leaving your family, spending all of your time in providing information, we say thank you, and we pray that God continue to give you strength to do that.
Excellent. Honorable, it's an honor to have you here, and whatever your obligations are, your primary obligation other than to God and your nation is to your constituents. So whenever they need you, that's your obligation. They are your employers, and so when they need you, you gotta go. So we appreciate you to honor their request, and we will have waited no matter what. Honorable Safoko, for those of us who don't know you, never met you in person, those who in cyberspace, who is Safoko?
Okay, my name is Frank Safoko Jr. I hail from Lofa County. I was born in Grand Bassa County, and I later moved to Monrovia. I'm currently the representative of Electoral District Number 9, representing the people at the 55th National Legislature. I replaced the late Representative Mona E. Pelham Youngblood, whose office I once served as Chief of Office Staff. I served as Chief of Staff to her office, and I mean, we lost her. May her soul rest in perfect peace. And the people of Electoral District Number 9 decided to, keep me in replacing her. So my name is Safoko. I reside in Sinker, Airfield, Lapasi, and I represent 21 communities at the 55th National Legislature.
Wow, usually here we want you to give a shout out to your high school. Let the young folks that know that you are one of them. Which high school did you go to in Liberia?
Okay, I attended the St. Peter Clearwater Kelly School in Buchanan.
Ooh.
And when I reached senior high, I moved to Monrovia. I then attended the Apostolic Foundation High School, for which I obtained my diploma, my high school diploma. And I graduated from the University of Liberia. And currently I'm a student of two universities, the Cottington University, the master's program, and AMEU. Somebody could ask how. When I became representative in 2021, I officially started with Cottington University reading public sector management, public sector administration, and later on, when I reached a certain level, I found interest in the public and corporate finance at the AMU University. I have to drop for some time, and I move at AMU, and I have to come back to Cottington to complete my program. Hopefully, by God's grace, I should be completing very soon, and maybe back to AMU complete very soon. But when I just graduated from high school, my first university I attended was the AMEU University. The AME Zion University, where I started reading criminal justice. But I have to run away from there because I couldn't afford to pay my fees. I have to run away from there. I'm sorry. Mistakenly, they didn't charge my computer today. So currently now, I graduated from the University of Liberia, and now I'm trying to hustle. High school, the Apostolic Foundation High School. I'm just on my local base here doing what I can do in representing my people.
Excellent. Well, if you're from Grand Bassa County, you know the top performing high school in Grand Bassa for generations. I've been St. Peter Clearwater High School. So this young man came from a solid background. You gotta be ready when you're going to engage him. But let me welcome Fanta. Our guest is here. Honorable Foko is here.
Thank you so much. Hello, Mr. Gayman. Honorable Foko, welcome to TCA. It's good to have you, and we're looking to having a conversation with you, getting to know you a little better.
It's a pleasure, and happy belated Ramadan.
Thank you. Happy Eid. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Tamara.
I don't know what's going on. Honorable Pewee, Honorable Tomalin George, I think you are double here.
He's replicating himself.
Yeah, is that for security reason? For security reason, we got two Tomalin George. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, we all set now. Honorable Foko, we got a lot to discuss, from national security issues, land rights, border issues, security issue on your life, threat on your life. We saw a clip from the police chief. Most likely he's watching. something he said but caught my attention. He says, you claim that somebody is after you, your life. Then something caught my attention. He said, there is no searching through the police authority. Seleke Kromah. What I wanted to hear from him to categorically deny that there's any fabric of truth to what you were saying. He didn't say that. He said there is no threat through his office. But if there threat through other means outside his office, I was hoping he would make that clear. He didn't. Hopefully someday he will come here and make that clear. But talk to us about the penny issue that brought you here.
So thank you. And I mean, everybody who knows this name, Foko, most especially from my good days, from Grand Bassa County all the way to Maserado, they know that I'm not a trouble guy. I'm a guy who believes in hard work. I mean, you know, my whole life has been hard work. And I have never gotten anything like on silver platter. I have struggled. I believe in God. And there is no way that I want to be in anyone's way. I don't want to be a problem to anyone. Having the privilege to serve my people, I mean, that is God's will. That is God's grace. And I always want to be grateful to God for giving me this privilege to serve the people. Not necessarily that I'm better than those people who contested in the past 2 elections. I mean, that I won, but I mean, by His grace, destiny found me. And then most especially the one that has to do with my life, I have never at any point in time accused anyone of threatening my life. Never have I done that. I have a lot of friends in the Unity Party, very good friends. Some of them were just at my residence. I mean, they came to talk to me and to allow me let this go. And I told them that this has to do with my life. I'm using every necessary legal means to seek address to this matter. And at the appropriate time, the Liberian people will understand where I'm coming from. However, since I became representative, I mean, Garguah used to be before, I mean, somebody that actually used to pretend to be homo. He actually used to pretend to be that guy who everybody wanted to be around, to the extent that when Garguah was appointed, in fact, when President Myean won election, Garguah was appointed in the former president administration. He served there. He became a friend to everyone, at which time nobody was looking at Garguah politically or in any other way. Or from the day Garguah became police director, not just me, there are a lot of his friends who are not coming up to his face to say it for some personal reason. For some of them who even just visited me, we just met up Mama Point. They and I, we have very fruitful conversation. The high level of arrogance has entered into Gregory's head, where he has become the prince into the Boakas administration. He has become very lawless. He feels that he's the only one that can do what no other person wants to do, most especially when it comes to injustice. I don't know what has entered his head. There are sometimes they say if you want to know a man, whether he's homo, give him power and give him money. I think that is something that is actually spinning Gregory here. He feels that he can walk to anyone and he can do whatever he wants to do. I mean, nobody will do him anything. Let me get to the point. I was just trying to lay the basic. I remember a few times back, there are some hard-coded issues I won't discuss here because my evidence for the fact that we have gone one step ahead, I will try to keep that hard-coded. I will just give you some issue on the surface so that you understand exactly what I mean by that. But there are other hard-coded evidence I will not come up here on this platform because we have gone one step ahead. I've been having my engagements with our international friends in Liberia. Hopefully in 2 weeks, I will be in Washington. I'm also reaching out to make sure that reaching out to the Human Rights Commission. I'm doing everything humanly possible to document everything that Gregory has done, not just to me, but other Liberians in this country that went scot-free. From this case, Gregory will learn lesson and he will humble himself and he will now try to learn how to be professional, but not arrogant. I remember sometimes back, about a year or almost 2 ago, there was a press conference being held while I was seated in my living room. And some people try to share his press conference with me, you know, when they had that Capitol building issue. And Gregory said there was an information he gave to the public. He incited the public against me, where he said in his press conference that I had a press conference a day ago. And right after that press conference, the Capitol building was on fire. So for that reason, I became a person of interest. Not just becoming a person of interest, but Gregory sent armed men with direct instruction at my residence without giving me due process. And those guys came purposely to my house on the instruction of Gregory Kromah to come and arrest me and place me in the poker box and drag me to Central. Now, as a high-ranking government official, even a boss to Gregory, I'm not a subordinate to Gregory, I'm Gregory's boss. For Gregory to just wake up in the morning without giving me due process and instructing his police, his armed men with direct instruction that wherever you find a living body of Frank Foucault, apprehend him and bring him over to Central. I was in my house and I deliberately refused to leave on that day because I thought that my rights were being abused and that was not the right thing to be done. And a day or two after, I reported myself because I'm a law-abiding citizen, in as much as the state has concern about a particular situation and they need me to answer to that situation, I needed to make myself available, despite the threat against my life. I went there and there was investigation for over 6 months. That came out to the entire country that I had no idea about what Gregory sent those guys to violate my rights. And it was proven that I had no idea. And at some point in time, Gregory and I met. We had a conversation. It is on record. I have that record concerning a land in one of my communities in the district. So there are a lot of people who don't understand what is unfolding concerning this land. Some people are misunderstanding considering this land to be, the government wants to come and do a particular project and Foucault wants to resist the project. So they are misunderstanding the argument. They are misunderstanding the conversation. They are misunderstanding the issues. This land belongs to the community. The government at some point in time, when my late boss was alive, intended to have done the ERU barrack on portion of that land And the former president of this country, Madam Salif, reached out to the community, reached out to the leadership of this district, the late Representative Mona, for which I served as secretary into that meeting. I still have record on those meetings that were taken into that meeting. And the former president asked that the community should help her make the land available. And the community provided a portion of that land because that place was set aside for the children to play in that community. And that place has been there even before I was born. Before Madam Salif could leave office, around the Spokes Park, when you come from the Single Bell, there is a water distribution point from water and sewer that was constructed right on the main road. That place is part of the community land that was given to the government again to carry on said construction because it was in the interest of the people. So I tried to give you some historicity of that place. Behind the scene, when Gregory attempted to have engaged that place and told me how he was going to secure D and what means he was going to use to secure the deed, I personally advised him to stay out of that place. I told him that it was not the right thing to do. I told him that land, I gave him the historicity of that land is owned by the community. And I knew the channel through which he was going to secure that deed using another person. I also advised him that that was not the right thing to do. And we started sometimes in year before last. At some point in time, he stayed away. When he started to use those people, the community resisted him through his representation. So at some point in time, Gregory got ready. He started using different channels. He started using different connections just to acquire that property. And what we did, we don't have what he has or he claimed to have. But what we have is we have our rights that no one will take from us. He started to do everything humanly possible, trying to manipulate the justice system, trying to empower another group of people. He tried with the first group of people, they failed. He tried with the second group of people, they failed. So every other means he tried, they failed. At some point in time of recent, Gregory claimed through his partners to have D for that land. So we laughed because we understood exactly where he went to acquire that D from. We got the information from there. We have text messages information. And whoever that he started to use at the moment did not understand my position. And I got all the information, even the first money that was given in Gregory office to those people to go and start the process, the first 10,000 United States dollar. We are aware we have Gregory voice on record. You know, Gregory will respect me after this process. You know, some of us, a lot of people did not understand our background. They don't know our orientation. They don't understand the IQ we have because we have not been boastful about who we are. We've not been boastful about what we know. We have been very quiet along the line, moving until we got to where we are. Some of us, the Liberian people got to know us when we arrived in this position. There are few people who got to know the level of IQ we have when we were in school together. Some of them and I worked together in the private sector. Others and I worked together in other public sectors before becoming a representative. So they know exactly the ability we have or that I have. But Gregory has seen me as that little kid, that baby who does not even understand why I'm in this position. You know, that high level of arrogance. Some of our brothers have created that elite mindset and believe that there are certain people who don't believe to be in certain class. That is Gregory. And this young man is a young man who came from Grand Bassa County. grew up in Grand Bassa County and has adapted that high level of, that elite life where he thinks certain people can be his class and certain people, but I'm not interested in that. That's his lifestyle. I have my lifestyle. I'm not interested in whatever way he sees me. What I'm interested in is my ability to accomplish what I was asked to accomplish. And Gregory, of recent, he sent people on the land and he assigned police officers who been paid with taxpayer money. They are all well armed, guarding the land both day and night. And they started to carry construction on the land. So the community called me at night and they informed me that there's an ongoing construction on this land. So I told the community I will be there tomorrow along with the elder council of the district and the district development council. I informed the district development council that there is an emergency in one of our communities and I will let us to go and see exactly what they are talking about. On that evening, I reached out and we did not ride car. We walked from where we were to that particular place on the scene. And if you watch the different videos, there was no form of violence. You listen to me talking to the people to remain calm no matter what structure they are putting there. Let us continue to engage the process legally and let the law be the one to stand for us. If you listen to the video, I was trying to admonish them. I was also trying to encourage them. I was also trying to, disabuse anyone their mind from thinking about taking violence or using violence. And all of a sudden, while we were having conversation, one of the police officers walked to me. He said that his boss, Greg, told him that I should leave from on the site. I said, really? The video is also there. And I said, I didn't understand why the guy was even that arrogant. A certain representative, along with elders of the community, have come to see a particular situation that they brought to their leader. While we were standing having a peaceful conversation, and a police officer walked and started to instruct me, talking about having this court order. So I asked the police officer, can you bring the court order so that we can see the court order that is giving you this decision to ask or order this place? Because this place is for the community, and this community is part of the 21 communities that I represent. So can you please show us this court order? And he started to, while talking from one thing to another, he said, okay, when you're done with your conversation, you can please excuse from this place. The video is there. In no time, the other police officer received a call and he was instructing the other guy that his boss, 100. He said 100 said the people should vacate from this land. In no time, they started to shoot direct tear gas at me and my people. When you watch the video, the same community people, because I didn't even go there with my security because I didn't expect that there would be any problem because my securities have already left, some of them gone, and we sat in that place. Though the guys started shooting directly at us and the community, some of the guys came, they got me out of the place. So the yard that I went into now for safety, Seleke Kromah again instructed a police officer, they called for reinforcement, and they barricaded the property. Everything I'm saying to you, they are on video because the people who were upstairs were videotaping everything that was happening. I gave God the glory for that kid, and I have everything in my possession. While we were talking from one thing to another, he gave instruction that they should arrest me for going on the property to take me to Central that night. While they were having conversation, Senator McGill called me And he decided to ask Gregory on the phone. He called me to ask me what happened. I said, I don't even know what happened apart from what I just explained to you. And Senator Magay said, but this is not, I mean, nobody should even shoot tear gas at anybody for this. However, let me ask Gregory on the phone. When Gregory was added on the call, I have that also on record, that which I told him that they were on record. Gregory started to insult me again on the phone. He was being very, very disrespectful. And I hung on the call. We started having exchange of messages. And right after that, there was another call where Gregory told me before the call and on the call, he told me to decide between the land and my life. I said, really, Gregory? I said, that land is not for you. I stand on the side of the law until it is proven. But I know the form and manner through which you have gone to acquire certain documentation towards that place. Wherever you did that paper, the person you did that paper with is my classmate. We graduated from high school. I have every conversation. I even have your voice on record for what you have done. And I will prove you wrong to the Liberian people that you are not a good man. And this is how many government officials have taken advantage of poor people in this country. They use that system from the back. They abuse the weakness of the laws we have in this place. And they decide to abuse the system. And many poor people in this country have cried from this. But this is the bus stop between Gregory and any other person he has done that to. And he started to issue me threat that I should make a decision between my life and this land. And I said, Gregory, you are not the one who gave me life, so you don't have power to take away my life. I stand up with the people. If you think you have power to take away my life, you can go ahead and take away my life. He said, you will decide. He said that in my present. He said that in my absence on the phone where he's on record again. And I said, okay, the fact that Gregory is even attaching my life to this matter, he has consistently sent police at my residence. And that night, what he did not know was I have my own security system at my place. While it is true, I left my place, I did not stay there that night. There was a police car with 4 police officers. The driver, 1 person in the front, 2 in the back. The 2 in the back got down, the 1 in the front got down. Only the driver did not get down. And they came at my place. They all were not wearing their official uniform shirt, but they were in their trousers. But the police car is on record at my residence after 2 a.m. in the night. He did that consistently. He didn't just stop there. I will also prove it on record that he has been telling me with a car that he took out the plate, and this car is owned by him. It's on record that he bought this car. I will also provide that evidence. And there are many other evidences that I will not talk about yet tonight because they are hard-coded evidences. I have already documented them, and I'm proceeding with a process that will humble Gregory legally in Liberia. I'm not just doing this because of me. I'm doing this for many Liberians that other government officials are taking advantage of. They are abusing the laws of this country. They are using the authority they have that they should be using to be a help to the people. They are using it to abuse the people. So I wrote the legislature, for which I have informed this legislature time without number with all of the different conversations Gregory and I have had. Every time we meet, we have never had good time. Every time we come across each other, I mean, there is always a tussle, and he always used that remark. There are witnesses, and he's on record for that. At some point in time, he decided to say he will get rid of my life on grounds that I am vulnerable. So I communicated with him. I said, Gregory, I'm not vulnerable like you think. I'm not available as you think. But I will make you to understand that I am not vulnerable. I serve the security sector of this country for which he was not aware. I've served the security sector of this country for nearly 12 years. And I just said that a few times ago when I was explaining on the radio, and some security personnel tried to reach out to some people, and some people try to tell them, oh yeah, that man said the security sector, he did this, he did that, he did this. So I told Gregory that I am under the intelligence of your police, and I understand all of your moves that you've been making against my life. And I will prove you wrong before the Liberian people, and you cannot do anything to me. So because of this, he asked someone the other time when he tried to have reconciled with us or between us, he said I should go to his office to beg him. I said, don't waste your time, Gregory. Beg you for what? You must be, something must happen for you to even say that I should beg you to tell you what. Let's move on. What I will promise you, I will continue to work in line with the law. I understand that you've been violating the laws of this country. Of recent, for which a lot of you don't know, that I would like to say to this public again, he's on record for that, having another conversation. The whole transport ministry and the whole travel lesson and all these things going to Gregory, new company that he has around the EAWA junction. When I decided to stand up and make them to understand that they were violating the laws of this country, for which when Fonati Kofa was serving as speaker, I wrote 3 letters in plenary. And we make sure that we protected the laws of this country, the constitution of this country, and the act that created the transport ministry. And a high level of violation. He also reached out to me and told me, he's also on record for that, that if I don't stay away from transport ministry, I will have him to contend with. And we have been having all these back and forth. It is not just limited to this land, but when he saw that I have been engaging this process, he decided now to take it on to me. Now, therefore, like I said, there are other issues that I have hard-coded record I will share with you behind the scene after the show. There are other things that I may not share with you. I'm going to prove it up there when we meet up there. I have taken another step not to go back and fight Gregory because I don't have gun to fight Gregory. I was not trained to fight with gun. I was not trained to fight in any other way. I don't understand violence. All I know is to do what is right. So now I decided to rewrite the legislature, the National Commission on Human Rights, the American government, and somebody, oh, well, the American government. No, you don't know where I'm coming from. You will realize in the end why I'm taking my communication to the American government. Because the American government has been supporting the police in this country. The American government have used millions of dollars, not for the police to be going after the lives of people, but to protect lives and property. But there are other things that we have on record that we have provided, not just limited to me, but there are many other counts that we have. Because we do not want this country to go back to those days. There were many powerful men in this country. When the Liberian people got tired, they got into the street. I am not prepared to get into the street. I am not prepared to cause any problem in this country because I want Liberia to be peaceful forever.
Yeah.
So the route or the means that I have to use, I will use that legal means to humble this man who was given this job to protect life and property that he's trying to abuse. Will bring him back to order, and he will understand what it takes to be a police director.
Thank you. Thank you very much for...
So that is the little, a little update on where we are, though I did not give you the dossier that I have.
That's fine.
But in subsequent time, I will come up with the dossier because I just saw a write-up on Facebook where Gregory is renting the justice ministry. But just a few days ago, when I wrote the legislature, he considered a Facebook. Why is he renting the justice minister when he had problem with me for renting the legislature? I reported him to my boss. I reported him to the speaker and the leadership of the House of Representatives. Now he reported me to his own bossman, the justice minister, that I should go to the justice minister to provide evidence. Look, Greg, I understand your game. Greg, I know your game. I have been silent in this country, but Greg, I will tell you that I'm on top of the game more than you think you are. Even up to today, I will give you another intelligence right after this meeting. I will text you that intelligence and tell you your next move towards my life. This is why I'm not going anywhere. I am clear, and I have posted. I even placed my drone in the air. Currently, I have 4 drones in the air, placed in the air, and I have settled and prepared and know that Gregory is prepared to come after my life. Even today, within the joint security meeting, okay, let me hold that. I will not talk onto that. You have conversation with 1 or 2 people, but I will not speak to that. Right after that, I know what next to do. But there was a joint security meeting today. I know exactly one that has to do with me. There were other conversations, but I'm not interested in that. But the one that has to do with me, that he had personal conversation about, I'm prepared for that, Gregory, and I'm here on the standby to tell you that this country is not owned by you. This country is owned by all Liberians. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Let me welcome Dr. Peabody. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you, man. Good to see Honorable Soko. Good to see you, and fantastic. Good to see you, and Mr. Gayman. Always, man. One love, one love.
Thank you very much. Honorable Foko is here. We have a lot to discuss. You know, primary on our list is what's going on with the threat on his life. We will discuss the land issues. We're gonna discuss the border issues. We're going to discuss RIA. We're going to discuss everything, but let me give Fanta the time to ask her first question to the Honorable on the issues they discuss and any other thing that has to do with the national issue in Liberia.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Mr. Gayman. Representative Foko, my question to you is that the claims that you're making, they're quite concerning. They're quite alarming, frankly, for a sitting police director to be allegedly aiming for the life of an elected official. It's quite gross. So I would like to know, I know you've made references to having evidence, but is there anything that you can share? You mentioned videos that I'm sure are already public or you have in your possession. Can you share with us so we can reacclimate our audience with what you're claiming? Is very important.
Yes, I will. Like I said, I will do that. I will do that. Trust me, I will do that.
Yeah, but we'd like to do it now and not after, if that's okay.
Now it's not possible because I have to compare them. Like I say, I have to divide them. There are certain information I will give to you now, and there are certain information I won't share with you now until we're done with our investigation.
Okay, that's fair. But so you mentioned a few incidents, and as I said, you referenced a few videos that are probably on Facebook or that are probably on other socials. Can you share those links at least? Because we need to be able to establish what you're referencing. As I said, these are very alarming claims. And we want, as we host you here today, to be able to see firsthand what those concerns are. So if anything you can share, I understand you can't share everything, but whatever you can share, we will appreciate it so we can share it right here, right now.
During the course of our interview, if you have any text messages, anything that you think it's already in the public domain. We're talking about anything that is classified. We don't want to have anything to do with it. But anything that is in the public domain that you want to do, we'll be able to share. We'll come back to you, Fanta. Dr. Peabody, our guest is here, Honorable Foko. I was surprised to find out that he's my homeboy, born in Buchanan. Can you imagine? Dr. Peabody, your man, you're from Orange Grove, the man from Buchanan, so that your brother too. You are muted, Doc.
Good to see Honorable Focal on this platform. And the last time I was in Liberia, kind of ran into him at the park somewhere around the beach area there. Beautiful park. Honorable Focal, good to see you. I'm sorry for what you're going through, that the police director wants to get you. You may have explained it. I probably missed it. Why you think Gregory Kromah want to harm you? Why you think he's after you? Why you think he wants to do that?
I think he think that I have been obstructing some of his moves.
Like what?
One second. So he think I'm sorry that you were not here. I tried to give a whole very long stuff, but most especially the one that has to do, our first issue has to do with, the whole transport ministry issue. He thought that I was interfering, and when Speaker Kofa was the speaker, he thought that I was serving, and because there were a lot of communications I wrote, there were a lot of things I unearthed, and he thought that I was serving as an obstruction to the operation in achieving that goal, in taking all of those different stuff from the Ministry of Transport. So he personally started having problem with me at that time, and with the community land that he have tried to own by himself, he also thought that I was obstructing, in him getting that place. So he had just consistently tried to have problem because he felt that I have been obstructing, what he has interest in.
Community land and all of that. But the only thing, if he wanted to get you, he's the director of police for the Republic of Liberia. He runs a major police force. Do you think if the police director really wanted to get you, he ain't got you by now? Or it's just he's using scare tactics and stuff like that? What do you think? You think he's really up to harm you?
Oh yes, a lot. He has made a lot of attempts. Like I said, there are some classified things that I may not disclose here, but he has made a lot of attempts. Look, we met one or two times. I think one time we met before, and I think you follow me. For me to come on international platform, for me to have a press conference in my office as a sitting representative, to accuse another government official of wanting to kill me, obviously, man, bro, I know what's up. So, I won't come to say something that this is no politics. This has to do with my life, the life of my children, because my kids and myself, we live together. It has to do with my children and I. So this is no politics. This is reality. But in subsequent time...
1 minute, Chief. We will play that video again for everybody to listen to the police IG.
Mine.
At this point in time, I would let me just throw a little light on some accusations out there. There's this trending Gregory Kromah will kill me from Representative Focal. At no point in time have the Liberia National Police, through the Inspector General of Police, ever threatened anyone to kill them. I would encourage, like I did earlier, Representative Focal, to please use the rule of law. Stop yelling on social media. You cannot solve a problem that not called a competent jurisdiction, and file a complaint, a formal complaint. I also encourage him that he should attach the pieces of evidence that he claims he had with indicating and threatening his life and that of his family. We don't take lives here. We protect lives. That's what we do, and I remain committed to it. And, this is where we are.
Well, Dr. Peabody, the police chief, obviously responded to Honorable Focal's accusation. He said Gregory Kromah, through his office, have never authorized anybody to do harm to the representative For a layman like me, I was expecting the police chief, the IG, to categorically say it is false, never happened, never will. But he said through his office, he said, denied, not through his office, not through him, but he didn't say categorically that it is false. So that was something that I took from, because I listen very keenly to what people say and what they are not saying. I expected the police chief to say this is a category false against the police, against me, against the law in this country. In fact, he says, not through me, not through my office. So whatever that means, I would have said, if it is totally false, I would have said it never happened, never will, to give it category, but it never happened. Fanta, that's what I took from the clip.
Yeah, it seemed it seemed like an effort to rebuttal the accusations that Representative Foucault is making. Right, I absolutely would have loved to see a stronger pushback suggesting otherwise. However, we don't control his approach. And this is why I'm asking, because for someone like the IG who has an expensive amount of resources, he does, I wouldn't say have the liberty, but he has the resources to inflict harm if he chose to do so. And if what Representative Foucault is saying is very much accurate, as I said again, I would highly, highly encourage what's classified can only be for courtroom eyes, understand and respect that can only be shared there. I think any supporting evidence, documentation, text messages, videos that can substantiate the claim that you're making, because it's quite egregious, right? I think will be very helpful in at least for the public to understand, and to also ensure that you're operating with a level of transparency. I'm not going to be naive that some security caution have to be taken here. Of course, you mentioned, I'm glad you have security cameras. I'm glad you have drones and other security tools that you are leveraging to keep you and your family safe. My one question would be, have you filed any legal claims to inform our I guess legal entity, right, of these threats? Have you hired a lawyer?
Okay, so
to the courts.
Like I said to you, yes, I have done that.
Okay.
And I have done that already.
Can you share that file as well, that you filed that report? Can you share that as well?
Okay, so for the report that I have forwarded, the last two reports that are forwarded today, I asked whether I can disclose that report to the public, and I was advised, they said no. I mean, until otherwise, they said no. There are two institutions I met today. They said no. And they said I should not, until otherwise, they will get back to me. Yet the legislature, when I took my complaint, yes, they said I can bring it to the public. It's no problem about that.
Okay, but
and even my lawyer, one of the reasons I delayed to come here today, I mean, I had a little talk show with two of my lawyers. I mean, they actually advised me to not have any public conversation now until we reach a some level where they will allow me to have this conversation. In fact, my lawyer now should be speaking on my behalf.
Right.
So like I said to you, this is between a security personnel and I. At some level now, the case is stay at this level, and everything that the both of us have is classified. So there are certain things I won't put out to the public now based on my lawyer advice. And wherever I reach out and wherever I took those information to today, I was advised that it should not go to the public until they get back to me. So I would just like us to keep it that way. I will reach out to Tomalin Josh in the back. I will share some things with him. Maybe tomorrow you can use that to place it on your platform and whatever the case. The reason you see me keep looking, going on my phone is because I was just about to send him some videos and some pictures and some messages, but he's also following, and he just sent me a text message saying to me that I should go by the conversation we just had and I should stick to it. I should not just put what I'm not supposed to put in the public because the case is still at a juvenile level. So I would like you to understand me at that level, that there are certain things I won't put out here because I'm in this battle with a security personnel.
Right? No, just one more, Mr. Gayman. That's very much understood because now you've brought this to the public officially, right? You've engaged the public. So I think minimally what the public expects is a court order or filing a one-pager that, look, this is actually serious and I have taken it a step further because this is actually legitimate, right? It takes it out of just being political theater, right? It actualizes it. It makes it real when you're able to, because now you've engaged the public, you have our interest to get on this journey with you. We have to know that you're not pulling our legs. I'm not saying you are, but we have to be able to understand that. So anything that is shareable, I mean, in the US, you can search, like court documents are public information. So you can search for it, right? So if you are able to share your filing, that'll be great. If not, that's also fine. But I just wanted to make that point.
Honorable Foucault, if you are back, I know we all followed the attempted arrest of Safoko when he was talking. They sent basically a squadron at his home, surrounded his home to have him arrested. When he said it was not necessary because they say he was a person of interest and he was supposed to report to answer some questions. Instead, his home was barricaded. I think that was played live on national television. So that may be one of the video tips that he has if he's around. We all.
I'm interested in knowing if he will file a suit against the police director. I mean, he doesn't want to pull his evidence. I agree, and he said that he has evidence. I don't think, honestly, I don't think the speaker, the honorable will come here and make up stories. But I just want to know if he plans to file any kind of lawsuit against the police director, and then go from there. But I'm glad that he has been able to come on the show and to bring this to the public. I'm glad he's able to bring this to the public so that the public will be aware, just in case. I'm not saying that it's true, but at least he made some public awareness. So if anything happened, But I think he will come back. He's not back yet, but I just want to know if he plans to file a lawsuit against the police director. And when you file the lawsuit, you got to have all the evidence to present it that it's after you. He's trying to threaten you. But at least he made one thing clear. It's out there now. Everybody knows that the representative has accused the IG of threatening his life. So at least it's out there. The information is out there, But I don't know.
But this was my question, right? Dr. Peabody, exactly what you just said. This is.
Okay. I think he's calling. He might have. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Gayman, I'm sorry. This is football.
Yeah.
It's just loading. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Well, while you're working that, we have no problem having you on the phone. Hold on 1 minute. I think Honorable Peabody has a question for you. Hold on.
Yeah, my question was: do you plan to file a lawsuit against the police IG about him threatening your life? Do you plan to file a lawsuit?
Yes.
Okay. So that means you do have evidence in your possession, stuff like that. So, but one of the things I was saying is that I'm glad that you brought this to the public. The police IG did talk about it, and now you brought it. So the public is aware that your safety, your well-being and concern, if anything happened, you pointed out to the police director, because the police director has a lot of power. He has a lot of power. I mean, and stuff like that. He's a very powerful man in the country. He's one of the most powerful men. So the thing is, if he comes, if he go after you or something like that. But I'm glad that this has come to the public. I'm not sure. I would like to know the evidence and what's going on, but I'm glad you brought this. But let me ask you another question. Is it possible that you can engage? What if the police director want you to meet and have engagement? That's something you would like to do?
Chief, the legal process is on. The legal process is a legal process. So the fact that the legal consultation is ongoing, I mean, even the complaint letter written to our various human rights institutions are all part of our different legality processes. So I mean, I'm not personally against it. I'm a human being, but I'm not prepared for that kind of conversation, for that kind of dialogue. Why it is true he has made series of attempts since yesterday. I mean, to reach out, I say I respect the fact there is nothing personal, but it has to do with my life, the life of my children. And this is how many other Liberians have been treated. They have been taken advantage of. And I believe that this should be the bus stop. And the high level of arrogance from Gregory, the high level of arrogance from people who have state authority and want to marginalize the ordinary people, this must stop now.
Okay, Honorable Foko, you said, you mentioned Gregory Kromah and his partners. Who are the partners?
Gregory has a lot of partners. He knows exactly, he's just following the show. I mean, he knows exactly what is unfolding. He has a partners, he has a friends. He has a particular clique that he operates with. So, like I said to you, his partners are many. I mean, almost every Liberian, even yourself, you have partners, you have friends, you have people that you operate, you have a circle. So,
but you were talking about the transportation issue. You said he had partners. So if you call them I think they got a name. I don't even know those people. The new people that Gregory took the transport ministry to. The new people that are responsible now for the transportation, the driver licenses, the registration and all that stuff. So what law? What law is he breaking? You said it was contrary to the act that established the transport ministry. So tell us about the law.
The transport ministry is responsible to provide driver licenses and give you car documents. They have been responsible for that regulation and for transportation in Liberia. The transport ministry. Until you tell me anything other than that, for what I have known over the years, the transport ministry is the sole and only government entity that is responsible to regulate transportation activities in the country. So now to take that now and divert it to an institution that was not legislated, or you did not come back to repeal the law, I mean, that is complete contradiction. I mean, Gregory and his partners will pay for this. They will pay for this. By law, they will pay for everything. Every law they have abused in this country, they will pay for it.
Okay, great. Fanta, I have special interest in the transportation company and the act that created the transport ministry. He says that act is being violated. Any thought?
I think it doesn't even require an actual act. I think most importantly, what we saw, the destabilization of families and the privatization of a function that was always nationalized, right? You're talking about hundreds of transport ministry employees overnight were out of work. I mean, we all saw them protesting desperately, trying to keep those functions with the Ministry of Transport. And the fact that, I mean, this new company that the government awarded this concession, I believe was for 25 years, hundreds of millions of dollars. what functions are they doing that the transport ministry have not done? What new technologies are they introducing that Liberia itself could not procure? What technological advancements were introduced that were so just wild, akin to going to the moon, that ordinary Liberians could not do? So for someone who very much propagates the Liberianization policy, I'm very much against taking away food out of the ordinary Liberian's mouth in favor of privatization and giving it to foreign entities. Whether Gregory Coleman was a part of that is a different story. I know that there has been allegations that he has some relationship with the company. He brought the company in. I would love to see those evidence if possible. But any Liberian, I will say this, any Liberian who actively engages in taking away food and resources and weakening the socioeconomic status of their fellow Liberian in favor of a foreign party, I think is a traitor to our nation. And this is across the board. This is not limited to like Gregory Coleman. I want to be very, very clear about that, because we know that there are bureaucrats actively working in this country to give even government contracts to foreigners. And look, when I say that, we're very much, I'm very much pro FDI, foreign direct investment. But where is a function that a Liberia or Liberian can absolutely carry out to be taken away from them is further weakening our people and our society. So that's where I stand with that. Again, I would love if the representative have additional evidence that he can share to that effect. And I think my question was exactly what Pewee asked. You know, has any legal measures been taken to formalize this in the courts, right? That was my exact question. So whether he can't share those documents or not, that's absolutely fine. But all of this really stings. All of this really stings because you truly have some police who do abuse their power against the everyday Liberian. And then to have a sitting representative making this claim as well, which is why I'm pushing for him to share those evidence so we can solidify it, because the IG does have a lot of power and does have a lot of resources. But we need to see those evidence specifically with his case to be able to get on that journey with him as the public. So
great. Honorable Safoko, we just don't want to dwell on the case between you and Honorable Gregory Coleman. There are other pressing issues in the country for which we would like to hear from you. One that is trending now is the NEC chair. On the front page of the Liberia Investigator, it says NEC chair nominees Unity Party link has created some serious problem in the country. What is your take on the nomination of Mr. Widow?
So, in all fairness, without being biased, that man should not be the election commission chair. This man who once served the election commission, who was seen not just openly campaigning, but playing a very significant role, who was controlling the war room of the Unity Party, or whatever statistical role he was playing. The man who was seen announcing an election result that Unity Party won the first round election. If I had not been the grace of God, with the role and the credibility of the past year, or whatever credibility that they have, that man will have caused chaos in this country. For that man, in no time, to be appointed election commission chair, that's a joke. Not just a joke, but it's a complete joke. However, we are today watching our friends here. We have the our different institutions we have here. independent people we have here, those different people, where normally the Liberian Council or Church, the Muslim Council, and the different network, the other network. These are people yesterday when things happened in this country, they were just very loud all in this country. Reading every day, there were just different issues in this country. I yet to see them speaking. However, I am part of a political party, the CDC, and I'm the Secretary General for the CDC Legislative Caucus. The CDC Legislative Caucus will be coming up as soon as possible, hopefully before May next week. And I will tell you openly, that act will be condemned, we'll reject it. Widow will not be the chairman, he will not be the commissioner for that place. We will stand up to that, we will condemn it. Mr. Parker can go and appoint another person he wants to appoint, that's fine. But it cannot be Widow. I mean, we obviously understand, but with the role he has played, look, let me tell you the strategy to this. The Unity Party has reached to the point to realize that they have failed the Liberian people and the Liberian. So the last thing they have resorted into is what can they do? Look, Mr. Parker can even go and consult with whatever you want to consult with. They cannot change anything. But we will not say to allow Mr. Parker to lead this country to trouble. We will not say to allow that. We will correct all of the wrongs now, and those things, we will not allow those things to pass now to create problem tomorrow. So Mr. Parker, whatever, he will withdraw that nomination. Just wait and see. I can give you my word today, he will withdraw that nomination.
Wow, he will withdraw that nomination. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a breaking news. Let me go to Honorable Peabody. Peabody, we got several things we touched on. I know it's getting late in Monrovia, but any question on Mr. Widow's nomination and the strategy for the running of the NEC?
Honorable Foko, you guys are saying that, but this guy is on his way to be confirmed. We know that the Senate don't deny people of any, even of the record. So you guys are saying that you will do everything possible. What are you going to do to stop this guy from being confirmed? What do you guys plan to do?
Basically, we have never been lawless. We've never been lawless. But with this, I mean, that the CDC love Liberia, and our standard bearer, I cannot speak on behalf of the standard bearer because he's the standard bearer of the party, and as a partisan of the party and one of the stewards of the party, I cannot speak on behalf of the party. But as a representative representing my people, and as a Liberian, I'm telling you that he will be rejected. Mr. Parker will change our nomination. He will say another person. They say they can go and dance and do whatever they want to do. We will not say by his letter. We will not.
What do you guys plan to do? How do you guys plan to stop it? Because if it goes to the Senate will confirm it. Why do you guys plan to stop it?
Chief, I'm telling you, we will constructively engage the process, and that male nomination will be withdrawn. And just watch the process. See what happens next.
Thank you. Fanta, on widows.
Yeah, just before like the widow, I just want to peek into the future. So what are you expecting the outcome of this allegation with the IG to turn up? Do you expect them to fire him, him be replaced, he goes to jail? What is the outcome of this in your view?
The legal process is on. I cannot speak for the law. At the appropriate time, the law will take its course, and whatever comes out of the law, I think we all will have to respect it.
No, I understand that, right? But I'm saying it from what you're sharing, you have, like, you sound very convincing, you have evidence. So, like, I just want to know, let's peek into the future. We go through the law, you share your evidence. What is the expectation? What happens to IG? What happens to the IG because he has violated, allegedly, he has violated not just you, but so many others that you're essentially following this class action, right? So let's just peek into the future. What is your expectation to deter or discourage this from happening?
With this kind of abuse of power, not just to me, but many other Liberians. Don't look at what happened in King George. People lost their lives in King George. Then look at many other instances of other things that have happened. With this behavior, Gregory should not be police director. He should not be. Gregory he's totally out of order. He should not be.
So you want for him to get fired?
He should not be.
So you want for him to get fired? Right.
Oh, yes, it shouldn't be. Yes, it shouldn't.
Okay. To the NEC to the NEC appointment.
And more to that, more to that, Gregory carries a green card from the United States of America. Okay. You cannot have all of your family there in America, right there in Minnesota. You protect them and you threaten other people's family here. So this is why we are also reaching out to the American government, because this man carries the American green card.
Okay.
He's a green card holder. You cannot have a green card for the American government. You sign to their everything and you sign up to this to be a peace person and whatever the case is. And you come in another country, you come to misbehave here. We will not allow that, so we're going to report you to your government also.
That's very interesting. Regarding the NEC appointment, you sound also very convincing that you guys have the power to reject this nomination and to even disrupt this nomination. Let's just put it that way. CDC has always been a grassroots favorite. However, the infighting that we have seen over the last few months has been a bit discouraging. I mean, from your youth chair, Alvin something, to the fightings that were happening in the diaspora. What confidence can you reinstate into the people that CDC is still a very formidable opposition, and you absolutely do have the power to, number one, disrupt this appointment, and number two, still take on the UP in 2029?
So I don't want to use the word disrupt. I said we're going to constructively engage the process. So the word disrupt could be harsh.
But you say that you will stop the man.
We're going to use whatever means humanly, positively possible,
okay,
to use our lobbyistic influence to make sure that that nomination is withdrawn. So whatever way that's going to come, in a positive way, I can assure you that that man nomination will be withdrawn. However, 2029, 2029 is a history. We just wait for 2030 January to inaugurate President George Weah as the next president of this country.
Excellent. Let me bring Dr. Peabody. Dr. Peabody, we are having, today on the front page of the paper, on OKFN 99.5, ANC standard bearer, Mr. Comey Ray red flag over Widows nomination as NEC chair, urges Senate to conduct fearless and transparent scrutiny, not to have him confirmed. That is from Alexander Cummings of the opposition ANC.
Is the representative still on?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, Representative Focal, do you have quoting what Mr. Gayman just read? Do you have confidence that the Senate will really be able to conduct a free and transparent confirmation on this guy?
So I don't want to speak on behalf of the Senate. The reason I don't want to speak on behalf of the Senate because of recent I have now had conversation with a lot of them that I know personally. But what I do know, every senator in the Assembly comes from a county. This should not just be limited to, CDC. This is for all Liberians because, anything positively that happens in this country, every Liberian will benefit. Anything that has the propensity to bring chaos is going to affect all Liberians. So this is about Liberia. So what I can say to you, I can assure you that whatever means, whatever the Senate does, I can assure you that that man nomination will be withdrawn.
Great. Let's go to another topic. I know why we have you here. Time is running. Let's go to, do you believe in the Ellen doctrine, which is if you are qualified, you get a job. Doesn't matter where you come from, who you are. Do you believe in that doctrine?
That doctrine is an open doctrine. That doctrine is not limited to Madam Salif. Qualification is in. It's an open thing. What kind of qualification? What kind of job? Yes, when you are qualified for a job, you be given a job.
So what
you could be qualified credential-wise for a job, but in terms of performance, you might perform poorly on the job. So you could be qualified to get a job, but you could also fail in terms of performance and be taking the job, and the job be taken away from you.
The reason I'm asking the Ellen Doctrine, I coined it the Ellen Doctrine because she said she was faced with the question of hiring all her children or her siblings, her family members, and she said, it doesn't matter as long as you are qualified. That person is a Liberian, whether they are all siblings from the same household, they should all be hired. So this brings me to the question. Most of the top government officials that President Boyka has appointed have all come from Lofa. So if you believe in the Ellen Doctrine, then why should you have any issue with President Joseph Boyka appointing everybody from Lofa?
So, Chief, when you check on when you look at the historicity of Liberia, the issue of appointing everybody from a particular tribal group has been a problem. It has been a problem not just to the Boyka's government. I mean, this has been an issue that will be raised by citizens, okay? So yesterday, Mr. Boyka condemned this from other government, most especially the CDC government. He condemned this. And almost everything Mr. Boyka condemned, he has done it times 2 or times 4. Everything he condemned, he has done it times 2 and times 4. So whatever the case is, I can tell you, in keeping with widow's appointment, I can tell you that Mr. Boyka will withdraw a friend appointment. He can go and be advising on statistics in his office, most especially when it comes to election. They can turn the war room over to him, and when it comes to the election 2029, but I can assure you he will not be the election commission chairman.
Great. Let me go to Fanta on the Ellen Doctrine. Ellen said it doesn't matter. You can like me. All my children are qualified to do something. I know all your sibling friends, Dr. Peabody, all your people from Orange Grove, you got your education and law. So according to the Ellen Doctrine, you can hire everybody from Orange Grove because they all got law degree, they are lawyers, they're economists. So it doesn't matter. Like in this country, right? People can hire you. They got clauses that bar you from hiring your family member directly to work underneath you. Okay, so with that being the case in Liberia, that clause doesn't exist here. I own my business here. The law here says as long as I get public financing, I cannot hire a family member. If I do, the person is equally qualified. Cannot work directly under my auspices. That means they cannot work under me. But in Liberia, it doesn't matter. You can hire. The Ellen Doctrine says you can hire your children, your husband, your sister, your brother. Ellen said as long as they are qualified. Your take on that doctrine, Dr. Peabody?
Wait, you said Fanta? Then you said that.
Excuse me, Fanta.
Okay, go ahead, Fanta.
Yeah. No, I thought you were on the phone because I heard you doing your hands.
I was waiting for it.
I thought you were talking to somebody. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if you really want my opinion on this.
Yes, I want your opinion,
That's
please.
stupidity, Mr. Gayman. It's stupidity. It's like you're bending the rule just to accommodate your violation of the rule. You're bending and twist. Where is the pretzel award? Let the pretzel award go to Ellen today. We need that pretzel to go to Ellen Johnson. Like seriously, this is something that you advocated against when Doe was doing, only for you to take power, and then like you're using public funds, Liberian taxpayer dollars, to hire your sons directly to work for you. Head of NSA, head of Central Bank, head of NSA, head of National Oil, head of Central Bank, and then you want to twist the law and legalize it and make it okay because you want to abuse the law and exploit the law and exploit the people because you think you can use your fancy language to confuse them, which is what they do. This is nonsensical. There's not even words to describe this type of violation. And this is why I say things like these are treasonous, because when you engage in the manipulation of a law just to abuse and take advantage of your position against the marginalized and the impoverished who end up cleaning up your mess and who end up being like getting the short end of the stick, you're not a leader.
You are corrupt and you're a criminal, which is why I say again, and I stand by this. Ellen should be behind bar. She should, in fact, share a cell with Charles Taylor. If we're so hung up on putting Charles Taylor like behind bar, Ellen should be right there with him. You can't. How can you do things like this and expect it to be okay? Now you want to legalize it and talk about meritocracy? What does Ellen Johnson Sirleaf know about meritocracy? When this woman looked me in the face and said, you know what, we can't operate on principle, like principle you will eat. The old man looked at me and said that. This is not someone who has principles. So to preach meritocracy, which is what this is, right? If you're qualified, get the job. But if you're my family, I will prefer you over whoever else because you are my son or you're my family. It's one thing if she would have said, I will remove myself from the hiring process and allow the Minister of Finance, if he deems my sons to be eligible without my influence, let him hire them. But you directly hire them. And that's the difference. That's nepotism. Let's not forget that. And it's ridiculous. We should not put lipstick on a pig because it will always remain a pig.
Wow. Let me before I go to Peabody, Honorable Foko, you are on here. The 1980 coup, I know you were not around. You have been a baby or born after the coup. No. Okay. Some of the reasons why the coup happened was nepotism, rampant corruption, all of those things that we are seeing today. Based on what you have seen, what you have read, will you agree that the coup was necessary?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, please, I didn't get you.
The coup, the 1980 coup came about because of rampant corruption, nepotism, human rights abuse, and the whole 9 yards, exactly what's happening today. Based on what you read, the history of Liberia on the coup and what's happening now, some people are saying there's no difference. Some people say it has even gotten worse. What is your opinion?
For me, I think resulting into coup, resulting into war because of what is happening in the country, I think is not the right thing to do. Because whatever coup that went on that time that led us to where we are today was not a good decision. I think intellectualizing the issues, standing our grounds, there can be protestation and all that stuff. But I think going to war school is not a good thing to do. Based on history that I read, I don't support it, and I will not support that going forward. But I am against the issue of nepotism. Every other thing that happened yesterday that led our country to, all of the civil crisis in this country, nothing, absolutely. This old man, Mr. Bwaka, was here, everything happened. These are things he condemned, these are things he went against, these are things he fought. There were a lot of things he went against in this country, and everything here now has doubled. The old man now has turned to be the newest celebrity who drives the most expensive car in the country, the most expensive bulletproof. I don't know who's going after him. Nobody. Imagine we have the man who saw life, who became one of the biggest celebrity in the world and the biggest Liberian ever, the most popular Liberian ever in the entire world. George Weah, who saw life, who saw money, who saw cars, became president. He was still riding Pacharu Kaye, passing around with those same kind of cars. And this old man who have not seen nothing, who doesn't have friend anywhere, who is not connected anywhere, who have never gotten into any very expensive car before. The old man now is driving $1 million car to go to work on ground. There is bulletproof. Liberia is not on record for anybody going after president or going after anything since our New Deal Liberia. So, everything has just went upside down. The old man is just doing what he can do. But we can assure him 2029, Mr. Bwaka will not be president for this country. We will use the democratic means to unseat Mr. Bwaka.
Great. Let me go to Dr. Peabody. Dr. Peabody.
Broke down the homes of these people. They left our people homeless. But what I don't understand, they fail to realize that the executive that is headed by the president was elected
by the very Liberians. And as the president of this Republic of Liberia, he's under mandate from the people to ably represent the people. The government is to provide what its people cannot provide for themselves. Make the people homeless, and they've been very comfortable with that. They have refused to give audience, not just to me, but the people of Rototown. And I want to be on record for this. This field, you can see the alley that passes through the community. You can see the water and sewer. There are construction there. You can see the ERU compound that Madam Seleke constructed here a few years back, where she came and she asked the community dweller to allow her carry on this construction. At the same time, the water and sewer place here, they also reached out to the community dweller and the representative of this district years back to ask for permission, because the past government know fully well that this land is owned by the community. Today, Seleke Kromah is abusing power on grounds that he will remain a police director forever. And I want to be very clear about this. And I'm very clear. I ask the community to remain resolute. You remain tolerant. Nobody here should take the law in their hands. I'm telling the community, this is why you elected me. While it is true, they've been very disrespectful towards me, towards the leadership, towards the people of District Number 9. However, I am still not deterred in standing up for the people that I represent. But what I want to conscientize you about, all of you in Rototown, the young people, our elders, our babies, and all of the children, I want to conscientize you. Stay out of violence. Do not do any form of violence. If anybody comes and see you, they want to embarrass you, avoid them and put them on record. As I speak to you, I have just communicated with my lawyer, and my lawyer have told me exactly what he's supposed to say. So as I have started respecting the law, I will continue to respect the laws of this country in making sure that the rights of my people are protected. This is a same violation. These are things that can create chaos. These are things that can make people fall apart. And these are things that can bring problems in the country. So what I want to say to you, as I have communicated with the chairman, and I'm communicating with you, tomorrow the lawyer and myself will visit the community, and we'll have the peaceful conversation that we're supposed to have concerning this land. Remain peaceful. Do not throw stones at anybody. Do not damage anything they have placed here. Never do that. The reason I'm saying this, I don't want you to take the laws in your hand. I will not support you for taking the laws in your hand, because myself will not take the laws in my hand. This is why I have been using every legal means to talk about this land. If it will take me 5 years, if it will take me 10 years, I will continue to stand up. There are land that people have fought for in this country that took hundreds of years, but they still got their land. I remain and I stand by my word. This land belongs to this community. And absolutely no individual without permission from the community will take ownership of this land. If Greg likes, he can send all his gun people to kill me.
Josh, come on, son. Move on there, come on, son. Josh, come on, son. And the police is chasing us out as well. So now they got chief. Let's go. Let's go. A lot of tear gas been shot right there. A lot of tear gas been shot in the community. Focus on Liberia. I'm sorry, Augustine Marriage Union found the camera. As police work along with us, listen to the order given. This is a disputed land. And This is a disputed land. Listen to the conversation. At the present, and that's a conversation between the emergency response unit boss and citizen having serious conversation. We've been identified as journalists, so they are also asked out of the premises. The lawmaker were able to escape the scene while Representative Frank Safoko was interacting with residents of Roto Town. There was a live tear gas being shot, and he successfully flew the scene. Successfully flew the scene.
Yeah, go on.
Did the tear gas reaching the community? A lot of tear gas been shot in the community. You saw it on camera live. You saw it live on camera. Tear gas was shot live in your presence. Josh, go inside and go inside. So we're gonna make our way to where the representative Frank of. Let's go, Josh. The police are saying that they will arrest me in Bosman form. They are saying the police officers are saying that he will arrest me in Bosman form. But here, the boundary have been drawn with the citizens and the police, the emergency response unit department. You can see the police have barricaded the premises of the entire land. So you listen to the officer engaging us on live camera. I don't know why. I'm not part of your number, Chief. I'm not part of your number, please. I'm not bothering you, please. I think you're going stepping beyond. I'm not bothering you again. So you listen to the interaction. Okay. One person has been arrested. See. I've been shot live.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching. I guess Fanta had asked for some clips of video, and you are seeing it live. Fanta, as per our request, those are some of the things that we saw. Your take.
That is really heartbreaking to see that the people who pay the salaries of the Liberian National Police will not act in their interest, instead will violate them in a way that puts their lives at risk. At what instruction, whose instruction, I would really like to know, because if it's at the IG's instruction, then I'm grossly disappointed in the IG. I would love for him to come on and clarify if he was the one who gave his officers permission to shoot tear gas or to even shoot
or use any type of violence against the people of that community. If it indeed is confirmed that he gave that instruction and the police were acting on his mandate, then certainly not only should the public be outraged by this, but the legislative, the judiciary should certainly be taking some actions here against the IG and the police officers who were found to be attacking the citizens of that community very violently. This is unacceptable. Like we keep saying, we don't want to result to lawlessness. We don't want to result to violence. If you're standing and shooting in very close proximity, tear gas at a citizen because you disagree with what they're saying, what does that make you? You're supposed to be a trained security personnel. That makes you nothing but a coward and a criminal. And those police should certainly go under investigation because this is unacceptable. This is a red line. You cannot continue to preach, let's maintain peace, because you feel you can continue to violate the rights of the people. At some point, they're going to retaliate, whether you like it or not. You cannot continue to violate a man. You rape his child, you sodomize his boys, you take his food out of his mouth, you fire him from his job, you take the clothes off his back, you take a gun and put it to his head, and you expect him to lay down and say, oh, I am a Christian, I am a Muslim, I abide by the Bible and the Quran. No, even God, the God that created us, says an eye for an eye. So you don't expect, you can't continue to tell people, especially those who do not have, to say, oh, remain patient, be peaceful, when they're being violated as such. So this is really, really concerning. It is disheartening. I would love the IG to come on and clarify this. If he indeed did give instructions to those officers to resort to violence with the people of that community, it's heartbreaking.
Honorable Safoko, are you still there?
Yes, sir. Thank
you for sending us the video. From what we saw there, I just wanted to know what happened. I know you were there after that incident. What happened? Was there an investigation? Were there anybody held accountable for what happened there?
No, nothing. In fact, I was insulted on the phone while Senator McGee was on the call. Senator McGee added Gregory on the call. I mean, they surrounded my house. I mean, the house that I went to seek safety from, they surrounded the house that I should be arrested. I mean, I didn't know why. Up to now, I still yet to know what I did, because I was even conscientizing the people from not getting involved with anything that has to do with violence. So, I mean, they were instructed, like the first guy who spoke to me, I still trying to get up, he was instructed according to him by his boss to get me out of the place. So I don't know what really happened. We still want to know what happened, but nothing has happened. Those guys are still there. I mean, you have not seen any information from the police. They have watched this video and they have seen, I mean, exactly what happened there. If this was not sanctioned by them, by now they would have taken action. They would have investigated and taken action.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Honorable Safoko. He's discussing issues pertinent to his well-being, his responsibility as a lawmaker, his life, safety. And the question that I asked earlier was, if the lawmaker, member of Congress, can be under threat, what's about the Fantas of the world? What's about the Jerome Gayman? Those of us who have no voices, we have no power. Where do we stand in this new republic? But Honorable Foko, real quick before, I know time is of essence to you, there is some breaking news here in Liberia. I don't know if you are aware. It says here, sanctioned fuel shipment destined to Liberia raises red flag. And it says here an investigation by the Liberia investigator has uncovered that a shipment of petroleum product arranged by Farad Navigation, FZCO, identified in multiple sources as a sanctioned entity tied to financing Russia's oil war in Ukraine, is currently being transshipped off the coast of Dakar, Senegal, for onward delivery to West African markets, including Liberia and Sierra Leone. Are you aware of this?
I don't have sufficient information on that, so I can't speak to that.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, according to our investigation and the newspaper here, that there is, and this has been reported by the CEO of the Liberian investigator, Leonard Dudu. He said a vessel carrying Russian origin diesel linked to a sanctioned trading network is expected to enter Liberian waters within days, triggering concerns over potential violation of international sanction regimes and exposing the country to diplomatic and economic risk. We are asking the congressman, if you don't have enough information, will you follow through on this, because this is national security issue?
Yes, I will follow through. I have already started, but I know by tomorrow, before maybe I will have sufficient information on that.
Thank you very much, and I know you will be back here. Now let's go to the border. Fanta, we have been discussing. Go ahead.
Just say something like on that, like really quick. That is so comical, and whoever wrote that really is not paying attention to the geopolitics right now. You have this country who has sanctioned Russia for violating an agreement with Russia by NATO venturing towards the east, towards Russia, which they signed an agreement that they would never do. In their entire lifetime, NATO said they would never venture towards the east, towards Russia. They violated that with Ukraine. And then they put sanctions on Russia, right? And then the same country goes to bomb Iran, forgetting that Africa, an entire continent, their food, the fertilizer that they use to grow their agriculture comes from the GCC states. Their fuel comes from the GCC states. They did not consider 54 countries would be impacted by their greed, by their decision driven by greed, and to cover their pedophilia acts by raping little children. To keep those crimes buried, they went and start a war with Iran, penalizing and putting an entire continent at risk. Now Africa is going to start facing food shortages very, very soon. We are seeing our hunger numbers increasing at rates that are alarming. And now you have the audacity, while Africa now cannot get fuel and adequate agriculture fertilizers and supply, urea, please look this up. It comes from the GCC states. When Iran takes a decision to protect themselves and put constraints on the Strait of Hormuz and closes the Strait of Hormuz, where do you expect Africa to get its fertilizer to feed its people, to grow its food and harvest for its people? Where do you expect them to get their fuel? So you will condemn them and make it a national security issue by them finding alternative routes to source fuel. What? Liberians want to pay $10 for 1 gallon of gas? Representative, that's the question that you should be asking. Why should we be subjected to sanctions put on by a different sovereign country? We are a sovereign nation. We should not be subjected to any type of sanctions put on by any other sovereign nations, unless you want Liberians to stop paying $25 for 1 gallon of gas. Who do you represent? The Liberian people or the foreigners?
But Fanta, what I expected you to say in this case would have been that there is no violation because the United States have lifted sanctions, allowing Russia to sell oil.
So then where is it? So then what is their report about violation of like international sanctions? Who sanctioned Russia and Russian oil?
But the second point to that would be, you and I talked about this the last time. who is responsible for Liberia or Africa not feeding themselves? Who is responsible for a dependency on everything else when we have been saying this time immemorial that this day was going to come? They are not responsible. We are responsible.
The honorable Focos, the
So
honorable
this
Focos
is-
are responsible because they are in the legislative.
Yeah, so Honorable Safoko, the investigation should not only be about the few, it's about why are we relying on rice, pepper, salt, fish coming into our country. We are almost 100% dependent on everything coming into the country. What are you doing in the house to make sure that we are self-sufficient in something?
Yeah.
So, like you see, this country, I was just having this conversation with one of my friends from the UK. And I mean, he visited Liberia the other time, and he and I went to Baza, we went to Riverses, and came back to Mosurada. So I was just telling him about our population, little over 5 million. I mean, I stand to be corrected. And I mean, with the kind of money we have in this country, and I mean, the kind of money that have passed through this country with the different things that happen, I don't think we should be crying for these things, most especially these things that are happening, most especially when it comes to geopolitics. So, I mean, the high level of laziness over the past time from our government officials, or most especially past governments, this government, because this government now is serving for 18 years, I mean, we've not been able to put the little things into place, at least to help to some extent solve some of our problems. Most especially, we should not be crying for rice now. We should not be crying for pepper. We should not be crying. Right now, you close the road between Guinea and Liberia, there will be no pepper in this country. There will be no, I mean, country tomato. There will be, I mean, almost everything we do in this country is just from out there. So, yeah, while it's true, I mean, the geopolitics is somehow, I mean, not somehow, but it's in its totality affecting us whenever anything happens up there. But, I mean, most of these things should not affect us that very high, because these are things that we can solve by ourselves. But, I mean, our government official, you would prefer putting $1 million into a budget for Mr. Bwaga to have for entertainment instead of that money being placed into agriculture so that our people can be able to feed themselves.
Wow. Fanta, we have talked about, and this is not about Bwaga or Wea, but let's go back to 1822. From 1822 to 2026, that's 204 years of us being a state, a nation state. 2005, 2006, when Ellen came, we thought it was the beginning of a new republic to put Liberia on its trajectory to being a new, vibrant state. Fanta, what happened?
You know, they say hurt people hurt people. And when you hear the psychologists, those in the psychology field talk about that, hurt people who often experience hurt and oppression, instead of them, when they have the opportunity to serve, rather than them being contrary to their oppressor, they actually double down. And they double down not on their oppressor, but they double down on the people who were already oppressed, right? So then furthering deepening the poverty cycle, further deepening the exploitation, further deepening the oppression. For someone like Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, for someone like Joseph Bwaga, who have been around, you talk about 40 years in government, you talk about serving in high positions in government, you talk about going against Dopoh and what he was doing, and you ran away out of here like to go seek refuge in other countries, and you went to higher learning of institutes, and you worked with international agencies, the IMF, the World Bank, and this and that. You have international friends. The Ellen Johnson government received billions of dollars, more money than any president in the entire Liberia history had ever received. you would have think or thought for someone who experienced oppression from Doe would have said, you know what? I've seen what this looks like. I see why Doe did what he did, or maybe I don't, but you know what? I'm going to be better. I'm going to do better. To have administered this country to the ground, that even something as what you would consider down on the bottom pool, right? You have the economical issues, the big policies issues. Then you have like the social issues, like welfare of women. To not even have a sustainable policy to protect women and girls in this country. To not even have a sustainable policy that we can point to today to say, Ellen put this policy in place and it's still here and it still protects women and girls and it still protects the vulnerable in our society minimally. That is the expectation of a leader. Protect your people, feed your people. She didn't do that. Our economy went down the drain. She practiced even worse corruption than Doe practiced. She practiced even worse nepotism than Doe practiced. It's disgraceful for a country that imports 80% of the food that goes into our gut. We import it. As the representative just said, if Guinea don't get up pepper, we will not eat. Crew people, you just forget about pepper Benin. If Guinea close their border right now, you will not get pepper. If Sierra Leone close their border, Liberia will not get oranges. Liberia will not get onions. If Africa close their border, we will not get tomato. If China or India or Bangladesh, the rice-producing nations, we talk about Bangladesh. Liberia is Liberia has comparable land to Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is the, keep it honest, 3rd or 5th largest rice producer in the world. How can such a small, tiny country like Bangladesh be 3rd larger rice-producing nation in the world when Liberia still has all these arable land? Oh no, they rather give it to Firestone to grow useless rubber that doesn't even benefit them and poison the waterways. They rather give it to entities who cannot benefit neither the land nor the people. Like, if you ask me, should we execute another coup? I will say, yeah, please call Gerald Rawlings, because whatever Gerald Rawlings did in 1979, he did it right. Where Doe failed, it's as if Ellen picked up right from where he failed and continued his legacy. Ellen Johnson should leave continuing the legacy of Doe and made him proud. If Doe lay now in her grave today, Doe would be like, damn, man, well, you really outdid me, because that's what she did. And one important question I have for Representative Foucault, because this is so important. When we see people like Maniba endorsing this NEC appointment, and he preaches integrity and principle, he preaches transformation, new generation, and this and that, all of the fancy terms, the catch terms, he preaches that to the youth. CDC, once again, is supposed to be this grassroots, energetic movement driven by the youth. But young Liberians feel used every election cycle and abandoned afterwards. What have you tangibly, I want to know this, because it's so important. What have you tangibly, and what is the CDC discussing to deliver for youth in terms of transformation, jobs, funding, programs? You had the first chance. You didn't do well. What are you going to do differently? The youth needs to know. We can't just be all talks. What economic policies are going to be put forth?
Excellent. Let's give him the chance. Honorable Foucault, you have the opportunity here to lay out not what you want to do, but the how. How are you going to do it to make sure that when there's an international crisis, the bare minimum, feeding ourselves, doing those things that don't require energy that we can do. Tell us what CDC or you as a person bringing to the table, and why should we believe you this time?
Okay, first of all, CDC 6 years that she governed this country. I mean, if you compare CDC 6 years to the Unity Party now going to 18 years, I can say, okay, 15 years now, almost 15 years in governing this country. I will tell you that CDC on the average day did better than Unity Party. So whatever the case is, or whatever the case was in 6 years, I mean, there was a lot of different institutions that were broken down, most especially when it comes to the agriculture, were lack of infrastructure when it comes to agriculture, in decentralizing agriculture into the respective different counties. So one of the things that was very paramount to us was using rules connectivity in getting to those places, in coming to establish the infrastructure of those different places. So what CDC did not complete, CDC will be coming to complete them. There was actually hope for the young people of this country. There was huge prospect under the CDC leadership, but the aspect of propaganda, lies, people took advantage of, the ignorance of our people, and CDC inability to have explained exactly what she was doing, where she was heading, or what she was doing for the Liberian people. In the opposition took advantage of that. They utilized it. They lied to the people. This is why the Liberian people even got tired with this government in less than 1 year, because of the way they built the expectation of the Liberian people. So I can assure you, with the different things that will come on the table, with the different conversation the CDC will have, the CDC will come up with a complete concept note with a document as to what her manifesto will be this time around, and how is she going to accomplish that manifesto. That will be discussed to the public. But those things are being worked on. All hands will be on deck. The issue about the young people, the issue about our generation, the issue about even the generation after our generation, those things will be discussed, and all hands will be put on deck, and the entire party will come to one conclusion, and will bring that manifesto to the public in order to encourage others to find reason to support the CDC.
Now let's go to the border, which is there was an article here that I read, an editorial from the opposition, but the Unity Party leaning paper, the Daily Observer, and they said a nation that cannot keep peace within its own border cannot protect its own border. The land issue, land dispute, and you were just part of the land dispute there, where the common man cannot own property and go to sleep at night. You wake up, someone who sold you the land, you turn around, two other person shows up, and the government cannot keep tab on that. So the newspaper is saying a country that cannot keep its own people happy about land cannot hold its border. So what is your take about, bring us up to speed about the border? Where are the Guineans? Why are the Guinean soldiers still on our soil? What are they claiming? What did the president say? What was the outcome of the conference in Guinea?
Oh, well, I don't know exactly. I cannot tell you exactly what was the president conversation. The president has not spoken to the country. He has not told us exactly what is unfolding. What did he and Dumoya agreed on? He has not told us. I just saw a bunch of Guinean soldiers at our bolo, claiming to take our land, claiming to take our village or our villages, and they are passing all around at our different borders. So, we yet to hear from the president, and we hope that the president can be honest with the Liberian people to tell us exactly what is unfolding, most especially between Guinea and Liberia. Like they have said, he is addressing it at the diplomatic level. He is addressing it at the professional level. So, we yet to hear from him, and we hope to hear from the president before coming up with any conclusion, but I don't want to predict anything, but I think the government will have to handle this issue. We are not waiting to forgo our land. Our land should not go. And by the president allowing this to happen, this would be the worst thing that have ever happened to Liberia. In terms of security, I don't want to discuss the security of the country, but I think we need to do better, and we still have a lot to do. What is happening here now just remind me about when Ebola came to Liberia. Ebola only exposed Liberia health system at the time. Ebola only told us that we have nothing here to depend on. So right now, for what have happened here, most especially with our security in the country, I normally don't let it discuss the strength of the security, but I think Liberia needs to focus on, there are a lot of things we have to focus on in setting up the basic of our country, but the president and the government itself need to handle this issue responsibly, needs to communicate with its citizens and stop keeping the citizens in doubt.
Fanta, on the border. It's an albatross around our necks.
So my question to you would be like, has there been any new development? I mean, we have heard from the government that they are working on this amicably, and has their amicable discussions yield anything new and refreshing that we can comment on?
No, nothing new. I just got the same story until something else comes up, or it's just the same story.
Yeah, I mean these people like Bweka is treasonous, and it's such a disgrace for them to try to want to put a treasonous claim on Kehleboe. It's such a distraction. It's akin to the Epstein case, and it is very sad to be in this position where we're talking about like Liberia land being taken away by a neighboring country just because our president went and stole resources that he was not supposed to steal to build his presidential palace. Like you've been working for 40 plus years. You have gray hair even in your ears. Like, why is it that you haven't built your own presidential palace? You had to wait to become president to steal the people money to build presidential palace. And if it turns out that you did use the sand from that river to build your palace, Guinness still seized like that property. And we have been told that there are other people who owns that property, right? We want to know who owns it besides the president. He has partners. So who are the other partners that owns that property? Is it Guinea? So they're coming to claim their property. Look, this whole thing is very messy. And we cannot keep dancing around in circles. We are so dishonest. We don't speak the truth. We don't tell each other the truth. And we continue to lie to each other and ourselves. But at the end of the day, the Liberian people are not stupid. They know exactly what's happening. And which is why it's so important. It's so important for you guys as opposition to grow a spine. To grow a spine. I don't speak in terms. Like, I don't care to be politically correct because I'm sick and tired of leadership who refuse to look back and honor their obligation to the people who put them in power.
Let me real quick. Yeah, we got 2 minutes here with it. Honorable William, thank you and grateful that you are here. But let's address the last issue here about the citizenship, the Negro clause, because it just came out of the House. Talk to us more about your position on the Negro clause, citizenship, property ownership. Talk to us about your feelings and where you are on that issue, and then finally your parting comment.
I think we ran him off.
Oh no, I think his system have died. Okay, so I wanted him to chime in on the citizen thing, because that's the one everybody is running away from. And we want everybody to be clear on this. If you are a member of the House or the Senate, there's no way you will sit on the fence. This is where thinkers come in. Okay, we want thinkers. We want solution-based legislative bodies to come in and tell us exactly how you are going to handle these very difficult issues. We don't want this woman bringing the baby to Solomon and say, cut the baby in half. No. We don't want to cut no baby in half. We want actual solution. This is why we pay these people all this money. 90% of the $1.1 billion goes to salaries, perks, entertainment, and everything else. And find out, Kehleboe said, it said you can expel me from the house, but you cannot expel me from my properties that I have acquired in Ghana, in Dubai, in South Africa, in all these places. He said, and I'm a one. We all here, that's what we do. We all got our property and investment outside of Liberia. So you can expel me only, but you cannot expel me from my wealth. That was startling to hear a lawmaker say, this is what we are doing. In fact, at a lower level, just imagine what they're doing at the executive level. It was quite an eye-opener to hear him say some of the things he was saying about his expulsion.
But it's true. It's true. And they're very idiotic, because you think you'll take Liberia money and put it in a Swiss bank account and put it in Geneva. Like, if you die, is your children will access it. Are you dumb? If you die, it stays in Geneva. It stays in Switzerland. You take it and put it in Dubai. If you die, it stays in Dubai. They're not calling your kids or your children and say, oh, yapa get money. That's how wicked these people are. That's how wicked these people are. And I have nobody to blame but the Liberian people. And now they are telling you exactly what they're doing. And they have been, not just him, all of them. They've been doing this for so many years. They've been doing this for so many years. And so they are so comfortable in their violation of the people that they say it bluntly. But it goes in one ear of the people, it comes out the next. And the next election cycle, they go vote for them. Who are you to blame? Who are you going to blame? When someone keeps telling you, I don't care that you don't have a roof over your head or clothing on your back, I need to go buy my penthouse in Dubai. Which is a crap today, because Iran is bombing the crap out of them, which they should because they are traitors. But it really should bring the Liberian people to reckoning. What are you going to do for yourself? When are you going to stand up for yourself? And I reject that lie. I reject that lie that says, oh no, we shouldn't be violent. So they should come and like blow your head off and blow your children's head off. And you say that, you say, oh no, they said we shouldn't be violent. Look, now, Christian men, Christian men, I get woman. We are all Christian. If you are Christian, I cannot act seen to a Christian person. I cannot stand you slap me and I say, oh, I will turn the cheek. The Bible says eye for eye. The Quran says eye for eye. You punch my eye, I punch your eye. Won't like I don't both of us lose our eye, or you don't punch my eye. But you're not gonna take food off my table and I sit there like I'm so powerless. And then when it comes to like vote, they come and give you a T-shirt and you sit and you accept it so proudly. Oh wow, the honorable Normani. Oh wow, look at this. Dongafle they gave you. You celebrating the Dongafle. That mumu bring you get. Like what's going on? Liberian people need to wake up. No, it takes two. It takes two. If you don't allow somebody to abuse you, they will not abuse you. Because when they slap you one time, you slap them one time, they will never try it again. So this whole thing about democracy and, oh, let's stay calm. Look, people are often afraid of death. And death is the one thing that is inevitable. We'll all die. It depends how are you going to die. You're going to die like chicken and rat? Or you're going to die a hero? Which one?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. It's 8:04 on our time. And that was the fastest 4 hours we ever spent. But today is Friday. We have to let Fanta go spend some time with her family. And so I too have to go and spend time with my family. Fanta, your parting comments about events. I saw a comment in here. They say, someone say when it comes to the tough issues, most of our panelists kind of run away from it today and they stay away. And it speaks to exactly what you were talking about. Nobody wants to tell the truth. Nobody want to answer the tough question. Nobody want to be seen where honesty dwells. So everybody has an interest. And the Liberian people take politics is interest. Okay? So because of your personal interest, the interest of the nation goes to hell. And then you sit there and say, after 204 years, we don't have sanitation, we don't have running water, we don't have power, we don't have anything. And they're doing secret killings. Fanta talks a lot that they don't like. Her life is on the line.
Really, Tomalin? Now we're about to leave in TC?
I'm in church, that's why. I'm in church, that's why.
Okay. So that's what it is. We have to talk the hard truth, the uncomfortable truth. Our country is not in a good shape. And if we continue on this route, we have nothing to bequeath to the next generation because all they're going to be doing is sinking praises to the next breadwinner. National issues, war that happened way in the Middle East is affecting how we eat pepper, how we eat bitter ball, how we eat rice. Is the Bob Marley say, I guess not he ended uncertainty, but he says, how can you be drowned in the water and still be thirsty? That's what it is. You're in the middle of the water and you're crying for thirst. Not even the CO, but fresh water. Honorable Tomalin, Joe, thank you very much for bringing this firebrand. It was. Look, he promised to come back with more evidence. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for reaching out to the Honorable. I think it was great. And we look forward to engaging him again.
I think we should invite the IG, definitely.
Yeah, I hope he's listening. I know the IG was listening. Bring him on to tell his side of the story. We don't talk our own. Let him come and talk his own.
Yeah. Yep.
Honorable George?
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yes, it was. It's
Go
good.
ahead.
I'm so sorry that we had this. We had it today, the Good Friday, and we involved with our church, so we.
Yeah, it's all right. We're coming to go. I gotta go to church too.
Yeah. So Joe Manjala, I don't know who you are, but maybe you think I'm not an atheist, so you know. So I won't have to lie to you, buddy. So,
we need a favorite audience like a war for Joe Manjala.
But we'll be back. It's Joe Man. Don't worry. I had to go to the church just to support my guys and say thanks to Poco and thanks to Fanta, Peabody, and Gayman for holding the top for us as everybody was up and down today. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you. Fanta, your closing, your parting comment?
Yeah, you would not believe, or I'm sure you know, but Liberians need to start paying attention to what's happening outside of Liberia, and not America so much, but what's happening outside of Liberia. You need to start tracking. And I would encourage the Agriculture Ministry to really publish this, or the Ministry of Commerce. They need to be more transparent with how they share data. Reason why I say that, you're spending about $300 million every year on importing about 80+% of the food that every Liberian consumes. They need to know where those foods are coming from. So they're able to track those countries in their day-to-day. When something happens, for example, we saw with Ukraine, no one knew that Ukraine was supplying the world with wheat. When that war happened, you saw the wheat price skyrocketed. Africa suffered from that. Now we're seeing the war in Iran, right? And not just Liberia is going to suffer. Liberia is already suffering from the increased fuel prices. And it's going to continue to go up as the Strait of Hormuz remains closed. And Iran is all in their right to control the Strait of Hormuz. Because if you're going to come and try to bomb my house, I'm going to close your oil lever. I'm going to close how you support your people. And that's exactly what they're doing. And they're not wrong. They're being strategic. Unfortunately, Africa does not have any type of economic instruments to support itself. There are no reserves. Look, let me tell you something. When these wars happen, the way that these Western companies or Western nations survive is they rely on borrowing. They rely on their reserves. Don't be fooled. America has oil. America has oil, but they don't use it. They like to depend on cheap oil from the Middle East. And most of the oil entities in the US are owned by countries in the GCC, Saudi Arabia, and so on. So it's not that they don't have oil, but they're saving it, but it's in their reserve. It's for their rainy day, like you have a rainy day fund. But we have countries like Liberia, you have African nations who do not have reserve. Dangote,
yes. No reserve rice?
No reserve rice, like nothing. No punk and I said. Like, I think Dangote, what he's trying to do now, and I think he's been running this pilot project for a couple of years. He's running the urea fertilizer plant to start supplying Africa with like fertilizers. But that fertilizer, Mr. Gayman, 35% of the world fertilizer comes from the GCC states. And with the Strait of Hormuz be impacted, that means like Zimbabwe cannot grow food. Kenya cannot grow food, right? All those big agriculture nations, Tanzania, they cannot grow food. Even Liberia is going to impact Liberia because they sold for all of that, all the agriculture products. We're seeing an increase. We're seeing an increase in the price. And I'm not talking just like by 5 or 10%. The prices of fertilizers alone have increased by 43%. And it's still increasing.
So
then you talk about fuel.
Yeah, but so Fanta, You think our Liberian government? I just trained that. You think our Liberian government, Tomalin, George, you think we're going to learn something from this and say, you know what, this is, well, we didn't learn much from Ebola, we didn't learn much from COVID. You think this time they will say, you know what, this is too much. We should now start growing the little things to keep our people surviving until the market open, like rice, pepper, those things. Something that we can do locally where we don't have to go. I don't know. Do you think there's a faint chance that that our people will learn something from this?
Mr. Gayman, I have to run, but I will say this. When I was looking through the Epstein files, the Epstein emails on the Department of Justice website, this is public information. So educate yourself, everyone. I encourage you to. I was just searching which countries were in there, which African countries were in the Epstein files, which African presidents were in the Epstein file. And I will leave the audience with this. Liberia is in the Epstein files. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is in the Epstein files. In what capacity? Go do your research. But when I came across this, I knew that it's like they have planted something. It's like they're all in this Baal worship. They don't worship God. They worship Baal, the devil. For Liberia for me to be able to look in the Epstein file and see Liberia, and see Jeffrey Epstein talking about he has a appointment with the president of Liberia. Why would Jeffrey Epstein be interested in Liberia? What kind of meeting he had to have with Ellen? What did they discuss? There was another email in there that I didn't share with the group. That email suggested that they were trying to orchestrate a deal. Ghana refused that deal. Other African countries refused that deal. Guess who took that deal? Liberia. Ghana said, heck no. Go try your stupidity somewhere else. Guess who took that deal? Liberia. So all of our leaders are bought. And for those who are going to say conspiracy, go to DOJ, Department of Justice for the United States. Look up the Epstein files. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. It's not Fanta information. When you see these things, Mr. Gayman, what faith do you have in this nation unless it's burned to the ground and God hopes and God blesses it for it to grow again, fresh, like a virgin? Otherwise,
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me have Honorable Tomalin George take us home.
Yeah, I'll let Fofana to share that particular part what you said, Liberia in the Epstein file.
Oh yes. I have it too.
Okay, y'all please share with us. Let us see it.
Yeah, I share it in the group, Tomalin. Okay. I share like days ago.
Today. But before I go, let me say this. My thoughts and prayers with the in the American pilots that wherever that got shot down today in Iran. I pray that they'll be rescued, and I pray that their families in my thoughts and prayers. I pray that nothing happened to them. I pray that they will find them and bring them home safely. War is not good, but when it comes to the country, you all rally around the national colors, regardless of whether you like the president or not. We should all rally around the troops, and they have put their lives okay, thank you, say. One was rescued, thank God. Thank God. Say, no, thank you. Thank God that one was rescued, and we just continue to pray that the other is rescued. We don't want the Iranians to capture anyone. They will do all kinds of stuff to get information from that person, and it will be terrible. So we just pray that they all be brought back to safety. And we should pray as we go in our places of worship on Sunday. Let's pray for this war to come to an end, so that the Strait of Hormuz can open, because it's going to affect everything, including food and everything. We pray that it come to an end, and I believe it will come to an end soon. But we're going to pray to God on Sunday and throughout to bring this to an end. Because our sons, our daughters, our brothers and sisters are all in harm's way now. So let us pray for it to come to an end. That brother was okay. Yeah, but anyway, thank you, Mr. Gayman. I appreciate you guys for this great show tonight. I'm sorry it fell on a Good Friday. And great. We are religious. We usually observe this week very carefully. This week we abstain from everything, including drinking anything intimacy. This is a week that we abstain ourselves from it because we are Christians and we hold it close to our hearts. We pray for it. We pray that Jesus Christ will be risen on Sunday, and we'll sing Hosanna, Hosanna. He is risen, He is risen, and we will celebrate Jesus and sing the Christian national anthem, the Hallelujah chorus. We'll sing that song on Sunday, celebrating Jesus' resurrection. Well, thank you so much. Next week we'll have some good shows, good stuff coming on next week. Look forward to the closing argument next week. We'll come up with some good stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys, and see you Monday. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your Easter. Fanta. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow or Sunday, Monday. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Pray for the family. Pray for your nation. That everybody will have a new country, a new group of folks, so the life can continue. Our time is almost out of here. We want to make sure we leave it better than we made it for our children. God bless.
Thank you. Good night.
Disappointment. Now the vice president often tell me since he got a seat as vice president, how many persons have I recommended in this government to serve in the government as presidential appointee? Zero. Every appointment in Nima County was done by him. He and I would discuss something as a brother. To implement it, you will bypass me and do different things. I better keep it. I don't talk on it.
Now you need to see us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
The good person in our whole United Party, that President Baka. You want to say that again? The only person that appreciate good among all the United Party for that President Baka. The rest are ungrateful. The right, they use you and dumb you. But President Baka, if all of them were taking the President Baka and behaving the President Baka, United Party will have another chance in 2029. Just for now, they don't have. They do not regard people that help them. I'm not.
Of our soldiers were executed on this party ground. 2 at the back and 1 right at the headquarters. The man who shot and killed our people today is a darling boy in the Liberia National Police. They brought him back to shoot more guns. Get ready to shoot. Because we challenge the status quo appropriately. Inform them in the violence or any student because of their action. It will be the day the entire Brothers administration will cut down. We will massively violate the students in this country and we'll shut down the Brothers administration. The day that happens, we have the capability to do so. And if they think this is the renovation project is a joke, let them try it. The fall of the Brothers administration begins with this. If they think they will tumble on any student in this country or at the university like Boy and walk away with impunity, while our children saving opponents and logic in the Western world, while we are subjected to agile power and bad learning conditions here, and the thing we see. In
the first 100 days, no car will get stuck on the major road in this country. And I mean it.
You say you're allowed?
It's going down.
First blow. There you have it.
That led to decades of war still run deep. But so too does the longing for reconciliation. A reconciliation defined not by political bargaining or by an artificial balance of power by tribe, region, religion, or ethnicity, but by the equality of opportunity and a better future for all Liberians.
Boga can lie, the government, all the ministers in the government, they can lie. They don't put all hustle, they put hustle, they lie. Everything they say, they never say the truth.
Today, the supporters of His Excellency Joseph Boakai presents him as a poor man from Lofa and asserts that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. Vice President Boakai is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money from the government budget than any other Vice President has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs.
First of all, there's this, what I call sort of vicious lie about the fact that Mr. Kobe is gay or bring gay lifestyle to Liberia. It's complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in the war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right? So it's complete nonsense. I'm married, 8 Teresa, 2 children, 5 grandchildren. I believe in traditional family values, so it's complete bullshit, complete nonsense.
Jamaku, young man, vice president, young man that vice president, the major stole 500,000. I mean, Jamaku, the major went to I forgot that Jamaku. The majors went to Ghana, the fit, and they may bring it all company in the country. I mean, Kun Ninja can reach himself. Kun man, you know, Kun, but I want to sophisticated, quiet, hardcore rule in Labro. When I remember, when
2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There wounded outfits, all men on board.
Everywhere there is no school, I will put school. And everywhere there is school and school in bad condition, I will renovate it. I told them, towns and villages, everywhere, you will have lights in a town for children to play, for people to see. I told them, every town will have safe drinking water.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
The government that capital road, small, that road, big road, all kinds of place. I think the reason Joseph Boakai will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
Your league Costa, God know how to pay people. It's just simple. Costa that accused everybody here but himself. Everybody, Joe, we join, we kill Joe, he killed Joseph Boakai. Boakai still living. Joe, no, you leave better. He made me senator. He almost made Joseph Boakai president until he screwed up. We gave God his glory. Yeah. Well, Boakai, when he screwed, he said, oh, we don't want to make sure we fought for him to be reconciled with the president. And then the people who fought for him, look, your league Costa, you come. And because I was in a podcast, he said, Jerome been calling me. Okay. The time you were calling me for me to kind of Boga, did I put it on radio? That immaturity to do what he talks about.
And I
no, son,
guarantee you, when we finish, there will not be a winner or the loser. Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia, and the victory belongs to the people, to the peace, and to our democracy. As we begin to build upon the foundation of this new Liberia, I, George Seleke Kromah, the new president, will first give thanks and praises to the Almighty God for the blessing He has bestowed upon our country. And I say, my people, thank you, Yah.
We elect on 85 irresponsible men, what happened to our country. We elect on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.